5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Bonifay Banter podcast.
All right, guys, here we are, episode 8, A Brothers Banter. What? It's not the first, because Shane and I actually did one on episode 7. That's technically a Brothers Banter, but now this is a true Brothers Banter. Trent and Gavin Stuckey in the studio, and if you don't know who these boys are, they're the shit right now. They are the best, and we've watched them grow up in Orlando. They've had awesome wake parents, and Gavin's Rider of the Year this year. Trent was Rider of the Year last year. They're on top of their game. So, ladies and gentlemen, Trent and Gavin Stuckey. Just a little light attributes right there for you boys.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody that's listening to this doesn't know who they are. You know, I mean, if you know Wake at all, like I said,
well,
like you said, it's back-to-back Riders of the Year and a brother duo, which they're probably pretty familiar with if you're listening to the banter. So, how
pumped do y'all got? Alliance Rider of the Year is kind of like one of the most prestigious awards. Like, how do y'all feel getting that back-to-back?
Dude, I think it was so special. I was like off to a good start. I was like, I got to keep it going. Like, this would be so sick. It was on my mind like the whole year.
Were you jealous whenever he got it?
I knew. Like, I was like, oh, it was close. Like, I was pretty hyped up the year before, but I was like, oh, he has this in the bag. Like, he was building on it for a couple of years.
Yeah.
You know, Trent's got it in the bag. What did you feel when you got Rider of the Year? I mean, because that was a big year for you that year, right? Because you started to win like some stuff the year before, but you pretty much. First year of Trent's domination, huh?
For sure, yeah.
Domination tour.
And just getting Rider of the Year at the end of the year, it's like just the culmination of everything. Just that perfect ending.
I love that word, culmination.
Yeah. And yeah, it is the most prestigious. I think it's the Riders Award where if you get it, like you can win a contest and that's cool and all, but like you get Rider of the Year, it means you did a lot. Like you surpassed everybody and it's not even really questionable.
Yeah, I think you got to have like a layer of your year, you know. It just can't be about contests. It just can't be about video part. It's got to be a little bit of everything. I think you got to move the bar a little bit. You got to move the needle. And I think you got to relentlessly just like put out good content. And, you know, you had, you know, Sincerely Trent. Was that the same year you did Sincerely Trent?
No, that was before.
See, my time's on point as always.
Yeah, but
how much? And that was before you really did like any real wake riding and stuff. I mean, I'm not saying that you've ever ridden, but like from what we've seen, like modern day Trent, you know, I mean, it's pretty cool. You won that award, you know, without like the arsenal of wake tricks that you have like nowadays, you know.
Yeah, I had like just started riding boat, and we posted like an Instagram post or two, but nothing too serious yet.
I felt like it wasn't like, I mean, he's even gotten better since he got Rider of the Year. Like it wasn't, I know, no, but I'm saying it wasn't like, okay, like he peaked and got this, like he's only progressed. Like he's done so much in boat now. Like there's just like, so it's cool. Like it's really.
The Stuckey boys are freaking, your boys are hellraisers right now. I'm sure like anyone drawing y'all on a heat right now.
I wouldn't want to.
Yeah, you wouldn't want that. Man, yeah, like, and you got a pro tour stop coming up this week, Trent. How much are you riding right now, training for on the wake and getting ready for the pro tour stop?
Yeah, this last week rode a bunch of boat, no cable, just getting ready for the
cable.
boat tour.
Do you think cable kind of messes up your handle passers or rope tension or kind of like anything?
Not really that. More just so the edge coming in. Like I'll find that like when I ride a bunch of cable and don't ride boat for a while, my edge will be messed up and I'll have to like relearn it.
Yeah. What I don't want to say what's harder, but what's harder to switch back and forth from going from cable to boat or riding a bunch of boat and then going to cable?
It's definitely harder to go from cable to boat, and it's definitely easier to go from boat to cable.
I feel like a boat's so critical to like really load that line at the right time, and I bet each cable being whether you're 2.0 or whether like just the looseness, your probably range of like how you load each cable is probably like so much like different compared to a boat where it's got to be like pretty much on point.
For sure, you got to have the technique perfect on boat. There's no like getting away with stuff. It's got to be down. I've
always had a hard time handle passing on cable. Like coming from boat, I was pretty good. I'm good at passing it on the boat, but anytime I would pass and the rope toe was like higher than like the boat was, I had a really hard time. What do you do? Just push it down a little bit more? Or, I mean, I'm sure you have a lot of tips on you. Would you just like preload it a little bit?
Well, I think like the main difference is like coming from the boat, the rope's always
directly in front of you. And cable, like it can be on your left side if you hit the right kicker, or it could be on the other side, depending what side of the cable you're hitting. Like it can be quite different. I think that's like is what messes with people's minds and stuff. But I feel like there's a bunch of tricks. Like you like the cable's a rubber band. You know, if you pull, it's gonna pull back. So if you can get that technique right,
yeah, you're that right little medium zone. Of
I think like a bunch of wakeboarding is all technique over strength. So if you can figure out like that sweet spot, it's gonna work a lot better than muscling it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Like on cable, like you said, you struggled passing the handle. You always have tension when you're on the cable.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But a lot of times, you know, you can hit the wake and you have no tension. You can just spin.
Right.
So that's pretty big difference.
You can release that tension on the boat a lot more. Like coming off certain ways, you can get into that handle pass easier, and it's not always.
It's pretty insane how well you've adapted like to the boat, honestly. Because I was telling Shane, we were watching some of your clips earlier, and what you just posted on Instagram was just like, let's go through like the hammers on those. You start off with, I think, KGB7, where you just like fall out of the sky off the double up. Then you do 1080, dude, and just like fall out of that one. It seems like everything, your handle passes are so good. Like you're just like backside 9, you know, crow 7. That melon grab you do on the crow 7 is pretty bolts too. Like,
thank you.
That's how much like. So you're not really riding any cable right now and kind of just getting ready for boat, right?
This week, yeah. Usually, I ride both all the time.
Right.
I like 1 to 2 boat sets a week, and then 2 to 3 times at the cable.
Is there any other boat events besides just the tour this week that you're looking to get into?
Well, you killed it at Masters. I mean, you got a podium at Masters. Like that's awesome.
That
like,
was
dude,
sick.
like that was really sick. You got to be super psyched to go. You won the qualifier to get to Masters, and then you got 3rd at Masters.
For sure.
And you had your semis heat was like sick too. You know?
Oh yeah, it was.
I thought you possibly could.
It was down to the wire.
That was a close one, man. That was really cool to see. I mean, is this a surprise to you that you've had like this kind of like? Did you, before you got into it, you're like, man, I want to really try to make a run at the tour. Did you think that like it was going to take like a little longer, or kind of like it seems like within like, you know, like 2 years, you've pretty much are on caliber of the best wakeboarder on the boat right now, you know, out there.
Thank you. I mean, I've put a lot of work in. You know, I've worked super hard to get to where I am to be able to ride behind the boat.
How much boat riding did you do when you were younger?
Not a lot. I learned behind the boat for sure, but I always liked cable more growing up. So growing up, I never rode boat.
What's the question I had for Trent? Okay, yeah. So did you think 2 years ago that you would be the boat rider you are now? You kind of answered that, but like, how much of your focus is like on that? And like, did you like? Is it going to be? How much are you willing to like do you think it'll sacrifice like your cable? I mean, you've already like won, and you almost win almost every contest you get into on the cable. So is that why you're like opening up the door and the freedom to kind of go do that and just like put your priorities like towards the boat a little bit, even if it maybe sacrifices your cable riding a little bit, or your schedule? Maybe not even just like physical attributes, but like maybe just your schedule. Are you going to prioritize like the tour and boat riding since you're like kind of on fire right now?
I mean, I've always been a cable rider. Cable will always have my heart, and no, I don't plan on sacrificing any cable at all. I'm not riding any less cable now that I'm riding boat.
Yep.
And I feel like I'm riding the best I've ever ridden on cable before, ever. And
who are you riding with?
On boat?
Yeah.
A couple of people. Yeah, I don't have a boat, so I ride with whoever I can. I ride with Max Saya, ride with Finn a little bit. I've ridden with Megan before, out on Jessamine sometimes.
Nice.
Just kind of bounce around whoever I can.
Yeah, nice.
You get on the boat, get it. G?
Yeah, of course. That's actually how I broke my foot. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah.
How bad does that hurt that you like tweak your
boat
foot?
riding. Yeah, it's taking the caves. No.
I mean, as worse as it was, like first serious injury, getting surgery and everything, I can't wait to get back on the boat, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait to get back. But me and Trent, like, I joined him this past winter. I joined him quite a bit, but he really got into it the winter before. And I'd go on the boat here and there with him, and every time I went out, like he would get a few sets between me going out there, and I'm like, oh dang, he's got this.
Those little sets
now.
matter at this
Yeah,
point.
right. And he'd be like, oh, new trick, and then next time I go out, he's got 2 new tricks, and I'm like, okay, I can see he's really working. But this past winter, we were riding a lot together. And Maxime Rooks as well.
Yeah,
like,
Maxime Rips. Yeah.
So we had like a solid little crew going, and then unfortunately tore a ligament in my foot.
Damn.
Kind of put hold on things, but I can't wait to get back out there.
So how long you been out with that?
So I did it on Christmas Eve. Like, wasn't the best Christmas present.
That's a bummer.
But so
Is that why you didn't ride in LAO?
Yeah, so I had surgery mid-January. And then about 2 weeks ago, I got the hardware out of my foot, and I'm just now, like today, actually, I had a proper set at the cable, hitting kickers again. So
nice. So you're on the mend.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. Just now getting back.
I had you on my team at LAO, and then like I said, he's not riding, and then I was like, what? And then I had to go in there and change it, and then I saw you doing the ride through on the course, and I was like, he is fucking riding. I go, what's that? I was confused. I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah. Just wanted to not overdo anything, make anything worse. So I was happy to be there, show face, be present, do some doc interviews, keep it fun, and course preview.
Yeah, we love the stuff you did for Grab Matters out there.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, so maybe I'll keep doing that here and there, but looking to get back in the comp for sure. Nothing gets the energy flowing.
Like when you said you were watching him ride and stuff, like when he was getting those sets in and stuff, like how much do you two like, and this isn't so much nowadays, it could be like, since growing up, but like how much did you two like kind of like help each other coaching and kind of like watching each other or seeing something or pointing something out? Did y'all have like a relationship? Because me and this dude right here, Shane would not listen to me at all. And it frustrated. We would get in the biggest fights. I'm like, Shane, you just got to do this. He's like, shut up. And I was just like, I'm just trying to help. He's like, I don't want your, like, it was a meltdown. Like,
yeah. One tip from Parks at the wrong time. Just stop riding. I'm not doing this. I don't give a shit. Like I'm out.
Do y'all have that relationship? Or do y'all kind of like,
I don't know how you feel about it, but I think right now is probably the best it's been, like helping wise. Or like we just do it more often than we ever have before. Like at Langenfeld, for instance, I like basically helped him with like his whole run. Like I was watching him with practice, be like, oh,
you're also
this is
not
sick.
riding against them though.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Maybe I was a little more vocal.
I had to take it when I can get it.
I mean, how much help are you giving him when he's when he's going last
true.
behind you?
Very valid. I was definitely.
What's
more.
the age difference? Where you're
2 years.
Yeah, but you're 18 now.
I just turned 19.
Turned 19, so 21. Yeah. When I think around 17, 18 is when me and Parks actually sort of started to start agreeing again to where, because I know when I was like 14, 15 is where I was talking about like no tips, leave me alone.
Yeah,
I'll do my
own things. Did you ever try to help out little bro through the cable and kind of like, or through those days, he ever get mad at you when you try to give him some tips?
I don't know. I mean, we're super competitive with each other, so like riding together, like we push each other, one of us lands a new trick, the other person has to go try it and try to land it or better it,
That's so sick.
So yeah, that's kind of our relationship, I guess.
I remember one time I was trying to learn, I wanted to learn toe back roll Pete or toe blind Pete. And I landed a toe roll to blind and I got super excited. I was like, all right, sweet. Toe roll to blind. Called Parks, like just made a toe roll to blind. He was like, stuck it yesterday. I was like,
Nothing gets you fired up like that.
Yeah, no, it was brutal. And I thought it was going to be one of those tricks that I had on him because I was like, he's not trying this right now. He's like off doing contest or doing something. And I was riding at home, finally made it. And
I think it's impossible for two brothers to not have that kind of like, or I mean, I think that's why like Raph became the rider. Ollie, just like when I feel like when you're brothers and you support each other, but you're also competitive too. And then you were raised like kind of like that. I feel like,
and especially when you both get good at something, it's not like one's getting slightly good and then one's already, well, I mean, at the beginning you were definitely already pretty badass and I was getting there, but whenever they both are really good, then it becomes even more competitive where you're like, I'm not too far off of this. Like I can do, all I got to do is make a few more tricks and I have the same run he's got.
Yeah. And as a big brother, you're like, these little brothers are like, shit, man, he's like only a few like tricks behind me, dude. We gotta
never letting off the gas.
I got to give him some bad tips or something.
You always want that edge. You know? But I guess now that I think about it, another like way that we talk to each other, like if I'll go out and land in a trick, I'm like, yo, Trent, you saw that I was sick, and he's like, yeah, it looks like a normal trick. And that will probably fire me up more.
A little bit more.
That probably fires me up more than him telling me like, yeah, that was cool. Like, you know.
Do you think it's but do you think it's kind of like Big Brother malicious, kind of like fucking with you, or is he truly like, hey, you can do that better with a better? Don't let that be the end of the evolution of like that.
It could be a little both, but I think he's just too like emotional.
What is it, Trent? What is it? You Trent.
He's emotionless. He's a beast.
Yeah.
Beasts don't show emotions.
Play poker or something.
Yeah.
No.
Just got to tell him how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a blessing in disguise, I think, because some people can't handle that stuff. And
well, it's brutal when you do make a cool trick and you think it's cool and you're like, yeah, that was sick, and they're like, I don't know.
It breaks you down, but it builds you up even better.
Yeah, it makes you want to do it again better. You're like, okay, I can do this. Like, yeah. No, it's just that back and forth of even whenever it comes from just friends that you're riding with, like that idea of trying to stoke them out and be like, was that cool? That was pretty sick, right? And they're like, I think you can get a little bit more off axis with that. Or you can hold the grab a little. You can, that's kind of zeeched. Well, we didn't have zeeched whenever we were younger. Nobody even cared about it. You could do nose presses and just move your tail all around. Like, and it wasn't until
that was just with like 3 ages.
Yeah. But honestly, it wasn't until I think it was Wake Zeech, the Instagram that came out, that everybody was like, oh wait, no, we're supposed to do these things. I met
Zach Leach, Zach Leach's, who is it's based off, he's a snowboarder.
Yeah.
I met him on a Red Bull thing, and I was like, he goes, Zach Leach, and he was like, yeah, I'm the one that the Zeech is like named after Zach.
That's pretty crazy. That's pretty good. It's it's almost as good as the Tootsie Roll.
Be bummed to have a whole career, and then that's like your most favorite thing that you kind of did, just because you had like one clip in one video, or maybe I don't really know snowboarding enough to like know if he was relentless on Zeeching.
See, I always would have guessed it that he was the one that started calling people out about Zeeching, but then that wouldn't make sense because he wouldn't call it Zeeching, which was his name. You know what I mean? Like a play on his name. So it makes sense that he did it first, and everybody was like, "Kook," and he's like, "Damn it!"
Yeah.
Oh man. Did y'all? Because how much older are you than Gavin?
We're 2 years apart.
2 years.
2.5 over here.
Did y'all ever get it? Yep, 2.5. Me and Shane. Did y'all ever get into any little fights when you were little? How did you fuck with like Trent or Gavin when he was like little?
Oh, I'm sure we got into it.
We were like wrestling.
Yeah.
I think, not like fist punch, like full on like balling up or like open hand slap, but wrestling.
Well, all wrestling starts off fun until
Did you ever do this one where you like pen them down, shoulders, like knees on shoulders, and you go. And you like let the spit go down. It's like after you have a bunch of Skittles or whatever, and then you go and you suck it back up. And he would do this, and it would go down, and then he would suck it back up. And I'm like, don't do it, stop. And then like
you would have something like Coca-Cola and rice. You get that like syrup kind of spit. And you just pin down his shoulders, and dude, he couldn't move no matter how hard he tried to get out of this. He couldn't. Dude, I would just have this big old long, and it would get lower. And lower right down to him, and then
basically until it fell.
It's definitely going to hit you at some point.
That was the worst, and I think that was actually one of the times I did punch. Like, and then as soon as you punch, you're like, oh no, I just awoke the beast, and I definitely can't win this fight. But yeah, there's a few moments of me and Parks. I want to say throwing fist, but it would be like throwing a fist, and then it would be like, okay, I know I went too far.
I remember if you pissed off Shane, did Gav ever do this? I call it like little brother, like when they like little brother syndrome. It's like when you piss them off, when they get past that line, they get like they almost just go red in their eyes. Like Shane would like, I would fuck with him so much to where he would snap and he would like run out to the porch and grab a pool stick and turn it upside down and coming running at me like with an upside down pool stick, just psycho mode, and I would run for my life. And like, dude, so if he grabbed anything sharp, he was like seriously pissed off and coming at me.
Yeah.
Gavin never really, you didn't really.
I don't
push
think
him that
so.
hard, huh?
No,
I don't think I'm that.
You guys got to stop
man.
You guys got to stop wakeboarding so much and start fucking with each other.
No, I think they're doing all right.
Yeah, doing pretty good, I guess.
Man, what was the game that I remember y'all talking about this on Grab Matters. What was the game that that your mom and dad played to like encourage y'all to like land tricks and stuff? It was like a system that they had. You didn't get like, what was it, gold stars or like kind of like what was the?
We had a couple. I think it like varied. Like as we got older, the challenges would like differ, the rewards or whatever. But so like an obvious one we called Ripper of the Day. Like whoever in the fam like ripped the hardest or learned
And this
the
is
most
mom,
new tricks.
dad. Yeah, because like for the audience, like their mom and dad rip. You know, Shannon and Jason Stuckey, they like shred around a cable. They go to all the grassroots and they compete in their division and stuff and usually take that shit down. So the whole family sweeps it.
Yeah. So like they still go to the cable like 2-3 days a week at least. But like during these times when we were younger, we would like whoever learned the most tricks got to pick where we go to dinner at on like the weekend. That was one. We had the Slurpee challenge. Like so this was like my mom's work. Like if you landed a new trick or tried it 3 times, like you go to 7-Eleven and get a Slurpee.
Oh, yeah.
Or at least try it 3 times, huh?
It had to be like full commitment.
Yeah, no, 100%. But like, yeah.
And then it grew to like all the groms at the cable park. Like my mom took 3-4 trips to 7-Eleven with carfuls of kids.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
In a day. But I think the one you're referring to is we had this prize wall in our house at one point. And like my mom would like watch us, like as she rode too, like watch us and like tally up some points. And like for certain tricks that you learn, you get more points. Like maybe if it's your first air trick, you're going to get a lot more than a new kicker hit. And then you can use your points and like buy a reward. And it was like all sorts of stuff, like an iPod or like, you know, that was a big one.
That's such bribery to make your kids great at wakeboarding. It's like they knew, they're like, well, we need them to go pro. And I got this like reward system. We'll get them iPods if they land air tricks. And it's just a funny thing.
What, Trent just roll? You just roll into school with like chains and iPods and headphones and just like.
Just dripped out.
Totally dripped out.
Yeah, my mom's a teacher, so this stuff like runs in her blood, and like she's so good at this stuff.
Yeah. That seems like a teacher reward type system. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did she happen to teach? What grade did she teach? Did she teach y'all at all, or some of y'all's friends?
No, she teaches speech therapy, so like a lot of younger kids.
She probably taught Shane when he was little.
I could have used that whenever I was little. I had a lisp for a while.
Porks.
Yeah. slide that tongue out on my asses. So, but we all good now until I get hammed. A few more of these.
Well, you have a couple beers and the you notice the lisp comes back out, Shane?
I think it's just a all around slur. It's just too much fluid in the mouth.
That's what it is.
Yeah. But we're good night right now.
Yeah, I mean I remember Bonifay Ski School. I feel like that because my mom she taught a lot of like water skiing and stuff. She probably didn't have the system kind of like y'all did with the charts and stuff, but like I feel like, you know, to get to the level that like Shane and I got to and that to where y'all are at right now, I feel like it's so important to have that kind of like family backing, and I'm sure y'all are a pure testament and y'all can speak on this too. But like, yeah, I mean, Jason and Shannon, like what they kind of did, just not for y'all, but just like the wakeboard community in Orlando and the grassroots and getting, you know, it seems like they've just like really just, they should be really good examples of like, you know, getting your kids in and really.
And being part of the sport that they're excited about. You know what I mean? Like if it's 2 parents that don't even like wakeboarding that much, I'm not saying that the kid can't go pro, but how much easier it is to be surrounded and have the vision of what you want to do whenever your parents are doing it with you. Like,
yeah, and at the end of the day, it just keeps it fun. Like, it doesn't feel like, oh, my dad's pressuring me to go out and land a new trick, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like that kills so many kids in the sport. Like, if they're getting dropped off and their dad's like, you better learn this trick or whatever. Like,
yeah, I mean, you've seen it on the shores.
Yeah. It just keeps it fun and keeps it a good vibe. Like, you never got bored.
Y'all never really got tired of it or kind of like burnt out on it or kind of like.
Not really. Like we talked about always pushing each other, but just like riding with people. And it wasn't like, even if we go to the cable, our parents weren't like, oh, you have to ride today. You know, like if you just wanted to swim in the water, they could care less. You know, it kept it
get
fun.
out there and get wet.
Yeah.
Nah, it's good.
Yeah, man. What you got, Shane? What you got over there?
I wanted to ask you about, because last time we got to hang out was in Thailand, but I know you went there a few days early, and I was like, What are you doing? What are you doing in Bangkok for 3 days before the whole team gets there to hang out? You know, and
so you purposely flew out 3 days early into Thailand, just kind of before the squad got in there to raise some hell.
Yeah. Well, Bangkok's pretty sick.
Bangkok's pretty sick.
Like, shout out to Bangkok for a fire city.
Yeah.
But you know, your boy had to go shopping, so you know. I went
what do you go shopping over there for? You get some fake Rolexes and stuff.
Oh, of course. If you guys wrist watching, don't look at me.
I'm your guy.
But yeah, I got a suit, so I got a tailored suit.
What have you worn it yet? What'd you wear it to?
I need an occasion, dude.
Yeah,
but I don't have a suit, so I got one.
You know what's crazy is you really don't need an occasion. You just show up in a suit and people respect it. They're like, seems a little much, but then after a few minutes, you're like, he's just styling. He's just stunting.
You gotta own it.
Yeah, you're just stunting right now.
Yeah.
You know?
One contest one day, we're just gonna rock up in suits.
Oh, dude, I would love that so much. I got into a rhythm of wearing suits. I got into a rhythm of buying suits. I went into Macy's at the mall one time, and I think I needed a suit, and the guy was just like, I got you. Walk around here with me. And for like an hour and a half, he just walked me around and we tried on suits and he got ties and like the undershirt, all of this. And I was like, that was a blast. And I seriously went back the next week and was like, let's do it again. And I didn't need a suit for anything. I was just like, I just liked him walking me around and being like, this is a new like Calvin Klein. It's got these, it's like a slimmer fit. And I was like, let's do it, buddy. But I don't know. I got into it.
You need to bust the suits back out, Shane. It's been a while. You should wear one at Brostock.
I could.
Are you going to wear your uniform at Brostock, Shane?
Nah, that thing's been retired. I'm gonna be working. I'm gonna have camera in hand, but
I was really upset that.
I mean, the vest will come out eventually.
I don't know who made the decision to put Shane behind the camera and not like on the microphone or just being the mascot of Brostock.
I think I'm a little scared of what I might get into if I'm not behind the camera doing something and just running around.
Leather jacket
will make an appearance. We'll put it in the bag. We'll bring the leather vest. I don't have the white pants anymore. So
well, thank God those things probably got some.
They got real bad.
Those things were really bad.
Yeah, but they had a lot of good graffiti on it. We tagged them up pretty good. But yeah, I don't think those things exist anymore. They should have been burned a long time ago. But
burning up. You ever what year were you, Gavin? You were born 2006. You just said. Gavin was asking us what year the guitars on the wall for the Pro Tour. How long they've been giving them away for? 2006. Man, that's I think that was right.
Was my heyday.
That was right about when Brostock started. I think like 2007. I think was like maybe the first Brostock.
Yeah, I think that probably would have been around that time. That was my heyday. That was the peak of my career. It's all been downhill since. Are
you going to Brostock, Trent? You going to hit some double ups up there?
Unfortunately not. I'll be at MASH.
Munich MASH, huh?
Yeah, same time.
So are you, Gavin, you won last year, Munich MASH. I was up there. I was sitting in the crowd, me and Paige with an Aperol Spritzy. Nothing to do, just watching Munich MASH from the crowd. It was sick.
It's a pretty rad spot to be at.
It's a fun contest to watch, man.
Yeah. And like the crowd, like just surrounding the whole lake because there's grass everywhere, and
it's almost like it's a golf like par 3 hole, Shane, and it's just like it's like perfectly sculpted and kind of like everyone just
stadium
like sits around
style where they're just built up. I know. I would love to go do that one.
The Spritzies are waiting for you, Shane.
Don't tempt me with a good Spritzy.
So are you riding this year, Gav, with an injury? Are you?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to first comp back. So
first comp back. You're the reigning champ, Trent. You got to be licking your chops over there to come take down your freshly coming off an injury little brother to get that title back. How you feeling, dude?
Oh, I mean,
I'm just joking. I'm not really
Nah, for sure. It'll always be a battle with Gavin, but definitely hungry for that MASH title. It escapes me.
It's actually not always a battle because I really loved when you guys did what was the event where there was
Wake the City.
Wake the City where y'all both rode. I was like,
oh my God, that was sweet.
I almost felt bad for anybody else riding in it. It's like, what do you do? Like, what can you even do to like compete with that? Like, if you got Gavin and Trent and you're like, okay,
it just seemed like you had so many gears and you could have throttled as hard as you want. And I mean, and I think with the way you ended the damn contest, it says it all, the double mob, but like just the buzzer beater right at the end,
the double mob to the handle throw,
and then Gavin catches it on the dock. Like really, that's when you know it's a simulation.
I was like, yeah. No, that was a sick one. I was like, that was.
What was it like riding together on that one? Because usually y'all are kind of battling each other in the finals. Obviously, you got support for each other, but you're usually kind of competitive. Is that a fun one to kind of drop the guard and kind of team up with your bro.
For sure, yeah. It's like the only time we'll ever not be against each other on the dock. And like even like the year before in Wake the City, we were on different teams. So to kind of like combine this last year and come together and ride together was pretty cool.
Yeah, I feel like so much went down at that event. Like what you're talking about with the double mob. First off, some backstory. Trent never even hit the XL once in practice because he went off the Gravitron the whole time, and I hit the XL. And he's like, "What should we do?" And I was like, "Victory lap this bad boy." Yeah. He was like, "I'll send a double moat." Bangs it out. Never even touched the XL.
That's pretty good.
And then I caught the rope.
He was so bolts, dude.
Yeah, it was so perfect. And I kind of felt bad because all I did was a rally, like for the crowd. I was like, "Dang, you gotta just show me."
And honestly, there's a few people who probably love that rally more than the double moat.
Those are my people.
Those are my peeps, dude.
The rally is a crowd pleaser for sure. People love
that was so wild. And it was the very last run, the very last hit of the entire event. And then Trent just goes huge double mob, double backflip, full 360, lands, and then just celebratory, just hucks the handle in the air, just blindly just chucks it as high as he can, and it falls right into Gavin's hands right as you land on the dock, dude.
Yeah. And my dad was on the dock, and I could just he was like happy tears. It was such a sick moment, dude.
That was cool.
So special.
That is a good one.
That's a cool moment. Y'all should, man. I know that one you're on the same team, and I know y'all ride against each other, but y'all should really appreciate because not a lot of brothers, like even the ones who are like super successful in wakeboarding, get to compete against each other, kind of like and get to podium and be on the podium as much as you two. I think Shane, as much as we competed against each other, I think we're only on the podium twice together.
Yeah,
maybe
I think twice. I think it was
out
twice.
of like our whole careers. So it's pretty cool that y'all get to experience that.
Yeah, it's a sick feeling. Like especially like you were there for Wake Duel. That one was pretty special too. Like just the way it's a full bracket. Like so anything could happen, and we just were able to make it.
Yeah,
to
you're
1
on
and 2.
Other side of the brackets, and you made it all the way to the.
Yeah, and it's random draw, so like we could have went up first round, you know.
Totally.
So that was sweet.
How do you? I got one for you, Gav. How do you beat this dude?
Well, okay.
He's been thinking about it. He's been thinking about it.
Oh, this one's like in brain. But there's a couple ways. Like Trent's like so hard on himself. Like I don't know if he even knows how hard he is on himself that he wants to put down his best run no matter the field, no matter the event or anything. So sometimes like I feel like he almost overdoes himself, like overworks. Like he could have done an easier run and he almost beat himself up on it. I think since then he's gotten like a lot better at gauging the field. It has an A run, a B run, like
he can kind of read the room a little bit, read the heat, and kind of like
But it's pretty hard. He's the most technical rider in the world, like difficulty wise, technicality. So you're not gonna beat him there. But if you can play your cards right, I think like that's
get in his head a little bit.
You can put him into the situation, kind of,
and just kind of like construct an overall run. You got to play like every single side. That's because you're not gonna win in technicality or difficulty. So you got to like really put it all together and combine it all, and then you might have a chance. But at that point,
it's still a coin flip.
He's so hungry. Like
how much does going last off the dock, does that like matter? Like do you or like what you're saying? Like it'd almost be better to go. Would it be better to go first and put him into like a corner kind of maybe and try to get him to kind of like get him off his game just enough maybe, or would you rather go behind him and watch what he does and then try to out-tack him or go from there?
Well, the thing is, like, with Trent, like, especially if you're in the finals already, he's doing his run. Like, he's, like, locked in. Like, we had one finals where it rearranged. After the first run, like, it rearranged on the seating, and he went out and fell first run. So he's off he's dead last and then has to go out first, and it's freezing cold London. Did not shake him. Like, did not shake him at all. Ended up like I was in the top seed after the first run, and since he fell, he had to go off first, even though he had the top seed going in. So he went off last, then had to go first. Yeah. Cold, rainy, went out there, iced everyone.
Fuck, man, it's you are clutch as shit. Like LAO, you taco that like the little step up, kind of like little stair rail on like first run.
Yeah, for sure.
You just shin the whole thing, and then I'm like, oh, dude, one more run to go, and then you just like ace it.
And like last year too, he fell in the Pete 7 first run in the finals, and then like only time the whole event he
That's
even
what you
fell.
get for going Pete 7 first.
Like for only time the event he failed, you know, and then went back out Pete 7 again in the rain, you know.
Stop.
So like I don't think pressure is gonna get to him.
No.
So you better try something else.
Yeah, you gotta like the pressure.
Yeah.
You feel like you do better, like kind of when the heat's on a little bit, like you like your heart beating a little bit more.
For sure, you feel that you know pressure is a privilege.
Yeah,
it's a privilege to have pressure on you.
To feel it.
I always did so bad with pressure. I was so much better going out first and just going, okay, all of these dudes are going to kick my ass. Let me just try a fun run and see if I can make it. Because as soon as I thought it was like almost every carnival was like this big rail event, and I was supposed to be a good rail rider. Cooked it every carnival. Never
the ones that you were supposed to do good. And
yeah,
the ones you were kind of
people,
the underdog, you can kind of swing for the fences.
Yeah,
and kind of,
exactly.
I feel like that's a whole thing. Is like it opens up when you don't have like
and you
have everything
it's
to
not
win and
just
nothing
the
to
pressure.
lose kind of
It's
thing.
my
It's like-
mental. It's not the pressure from everybody else. It was me thinking, okay, this is the time that you're supposed to do something, so you got to do it good, opposed to just being like, let's go out there and just do a run that you like, make some cool tricks, see how it goes, and then lo and behold, you win it, and you're like, oh, I didn't think that was going to hold up, or I'm glad it did because it was, you know, my hardest shit, but I just didn't know everybody else was going to be, you know, fall under pressure like I usually do. So
It is cool to go out first and like let everyone chase the bar.
That's
you
where
set,
that's
know?
what I like.
Because
Yeah.
I love that you brought up, like nothing to lose mentality, because like that can change everything for a person. So like personally, recently with Munich Mash next week, I'm going in thinking like, oh, first comp back from injury, nothing to lose. I'm not thinking, oh, I need to go back to back. I won last year.
That's a good.
Because that's going to put more pressure on. Like, and I think the nothing to lose, like it just gives a better mindset and vibe going in. So that's how I'm viewing it.
There's two easy ways that you can look at it. Like you said, you can put the pressure and be like, I gotta beat Trent and I gotta defend my title. This is a lot of pressure. Or you could throw that whole notion out the window and be like, I'm fresh off an injury. I'm the underdog right now. He's riding good. I have nothing to lose, everything to win right now. That's a great way of just like switching the script, you know?
It just depends like how you are as a person and what you thrive on and like which one you want to look at. But like the other day I saw like one of the best things to self-improvement, like proven, is encouragement and celebration, like for people. So if you take these little wins and you encourage yourself, it's like statistically proven that those help you in the long term rather than like putting so much on you.
Yeah, and trying to get that big win. Yeah.
That's not what he's saying though. He wants that pressure. He wants the hate. He wants to prove everybody wrong. Like,
where's it? How do you fend off all these people coming for you? Because you've won the most like in the last like few years, like within cable, you know, America. No,
Sorry.
but how now the target's on your back. How, like, what do you feel that has your psychologically and your thought like changed like going into it? Like because I'm sure in the beginning you were kind of like what Gavin and I were just saying is like it probably felt like everything to win, nothing to lose. You're the underdog. You're going for all these heavy hitters that you've looked up for your entire life. You're riding against your idols now. You know, how does it feel now compared to then to now? Like having the biggest target, arguably ever, on your back. You know.
Yeah, it's definitely different. You know, the script is flipped now. But like I said, pressure's a privilege to have on you, and you know, I feel like I feed off the pressure, and you know. I've put the work in, so I don't have fear in my skills. You know, might get nervous sometimes before a contest, you know, but as soon as
how's it feel when you lose? Like after winning a lot, like does it? I mean, I'm sure in the beginning of your career you've lost you lost a lot, but then as you're becoming like, you know, you win like 80-75% of the contest right now. What does it feel like to lose right now?
For sure. I mean, it's about the worst thing possible, you know. I mean, we'll take it back to at MASH last year. I got second, and that
hurt.
It could have felt the same as getting last place in the contest to me. You know,
yeah.
That's how hard I take it.
I can imagine like when you're on top and you're winning every one, like a second or seventh is about the same fucking thing.
Dude, he honestly sounds like a golfer. Like this is the way golfers talk. Like the pressure's the privilege. Like I've been doing the work. I got to get out there and just in second. is nothing. Like it sounds like a golfer.
Callaway.
I think it's different, like for him, because if you're in a position where you know you can win, but it just slips through, that's gotta sting. And he's like so hard on himself, like he's out there working. No one's telling him to go like physically do heel back 12s on a Tuesday.
All these NBDs,
you know, and like he's out there putting the work in. But like to touch on that a little more, like where he talked about being nervous. Michael Phelps was always like obviously one of the greatest athletes of all time. How many Olympic medals he has is insane. And he would always say, like, if you're nervous, you're not prepared. Yep. So if you're like prepared and you're going in, there's no reason to be nervous. And he trained every single day all year long. So he was never nervous. He was prepared. You know, you put that work in, you're like, it's that stage, you take it as a privilege and you show yourself like you're meant to be here.
And it means you care, you know, so many people can ride in a contest. Oh yeah, it's super fun. I'm just going out here and kind of, I mean, maybe they don't care enough about that. Like if you like, it's maybe some people like perform different under that nervousness, and maybe some people try to shy away from that kind of emotion because they know they don't ride good. But you know, I feel like, yeah, man, it's a weird one. And some people just react different. And I mean, do you think you win? Do you think you like you hate losing more than you like winning?
For sure.
Yeah. It did take him a second though. He was like, because he had to think about it. He was like, losing, yeah, that sucks. Winning, it's all right, but losing sucks. Yeah, no, definitely. No, that's funny.
I want to show y'all. I want to show y'all this video. I saw this. This is a skater named Gustavo Ribeira, and he's talking about street league in practice and stuff. How he's like almost like not designing his run, but he's like sizing up tricks. And I don't want to say too much about it, but
if I do a tray flip nose blind, I don't think about the tray flip. I just like be far. Like if I'm on a street league, you're gonna see me just doing nose blinds. You're not gonna see me actually try, maybe 1 or 2 times.
Why? Because
I don't like to try. I can get hurt.
Okay.
The judges see me trying, and I don't want them to see me trying, so I just do nose blinds. I might try 1 or 2 just to see how it goes, but then like I know like what to do.
You're just getting on the nose blunts, and you're like, okay,
But I'm imagining the tray flip.
Okay.
So I'm doing a nose blunt, but in my mind, I'm imagining what I'm doing.
So you're
while I'm just doing an ollie to a nose blunt, but like while I'm in there, I'm actually like calculating, visualizing everything. So I kind of know what I need to do, and then in the moment, it's like 50-50, or I land or I don't. But like I'm going to do it. You know, I believe I can do it, and most of it, I can land.
Yeah. So that was a section from the 9 Club right there. But what he's, you know, I think that. What do you think about that? Isn't that interesting? What he's kind of like. Do y'all kind of go about that? Like,
what's your takeaway from what he's saying there?
Well, I like personally, it's kind of crazy. I took away like 3 things. Well, one, we just talked about like if you're prepared, there's no reason to be nervous, and he totally threw that out the window and was like, "Well, I'm gonna just do it in the contest," you know? And he just visualized it, so he's mentally prepared, but physically, like, if you do it enough times, it's muscle memory, and it's, like, so dialed, but he totally took a different approach. But you get the wow factor from the judges. He was like, he totally brought up the judges.
That's what I think he's doing, is he's like, I don't want to, if I do it every time, then everybody will realize I can do it every time. But if I just do these nose blunts a lot, and then the time I do 360 or tray flip nose blunt, people are going to be like, what? Like, that was crazy. When really he knew he could do it all the time.
What do you think, Trent? Like, as you're designing do you kind of like take like a little bit of like what he's saying, like the reveal of a trick? Like, are you kind of like not showing the judges, not showing the riders, not showing your brother like too much? Or like how do you kind of like what he was saying there? How do you like
watering down a run before it's go time?
For sure. Yeah. You can definitely like practice tricks by just doing each like parts of it. You don't have to do the entire trick to practice it, like exactly how he was saying. And then I think he also said like in the contest, you're just gonna throw it and like either he lands it or he doesn't. And one thing that's like super important, at least I feel like when I'm riding in a contest, is getting into, you know, what they call like flow state. Like, like when I'm riding in a contest, if you ask me what I'm thinking about, nothing. I'm not thinking about how I'm going to do the trick. There's nothing going on in my brain. I'm just trusting myself that I know how to do it.
Right.
Because like we've said before, you've put the work in. There's no need to have fear in your skills
and the time and stuff. But like at a place like LAO or like even like Wake Duels, a place that's just like so chaotic and like everyone's kind of like it's almost. I mean, obviously you want to do the gnarly shit, but sometimes like just the line itself is like something different. Like how much, and they get so much practice at like Wake Duels and stuff. You know, like so how much are you like keeping like secret and kind of slowly revealing, and how much are you like actually? Are you doing 270s on some of these gaps and you're really sizing up the final banger on these things, but you're like not really letting anyone know that you're kind of do it? Do you have to keep some stuff a secret considering there's like 100 eyeballs on you that are competing against you at any given time?
For sure, I guess. And Gavin can maybe talk a little bit about this, but I've been told like when I ride or practice a setup like that, I'll do 10 different hits on the feature and
just
like maybe Gavin can touch, but he'll say, I don't actually know like what your run's going to be.
Right. I personally know what it's going to be. Maybe the people on the dock don't know because he will go out like, and you'll see one ride, like majority of the riders go out, they'll do 1 to 2 hits. And like you said, they'll do like, you know, they're going to practice their hit in the contest, but maybe in the opening round, it's not as like intense contest. And they'll do front 270 instead of front 3 because front 3 is a little more risky, you know, land 50-50. So they'll save that. But Trent will go out and he'll do like, you know, tantrum back lip, back 350, back 2 rewind, like 10,
everything.
10,
do everything.
10 different tricks.
Just
like,
to show you, I got it all, and you'll have to see which one I'm gonna pull against.
Like no matter what, like these are all high caliber tricks, and he could just pull it out at any point. Like if he ends up on a fluke and lands left foot forward instead of right foot forward, he's got a solution. Right?
Do you think that could ever like work? Have you noticed it ever work against you if they see you go so fucking hard in practice, and then maybe like in the finals you don't do the banger that everyone you can know? Do you think you get judged against yourself maybe sometimes?
I mean, you could say we've heard maybe even not like purposely, but subconsciously.
I've seen him.
You talk about that. There is the surprise factor that like even if you don't mean to, like subconsciously you could score it higher because of that surprise factor.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah, especially in wakeboarding, where it's so subjective. Like you don't even know you're doing it, and it's like, oh, holy crap, he just did that. You know, it's gonna boost it. Like I think, like, I mean, I don't want to mention it or talk about it, but like Dom would always fall on a money mob, and then you know, and then in run 2 he just bangs it out. You know, the crowd goes crazy. It's like never seen the guy fall on a money mob like ever. But
yeah, it was almost like he was falling on it just so he knew because second run coming up, he's got it, and he's like, I'm just gonna
conspiracy.
Yeah, conspiracy.
I wonder how many people like fall on purpose, like kind of just like you know, to kind of just to
pepper it a little bit, pepper it
well,
up,
just
to
throw
bit.
a little drama into it, you know.
Yeah.
Like, but I mean, obviously, if you're competing, anything goes. I feel like you just want to. You don't even want to reveal too much, like to the like some other competitors and kind of judges. We'll delete this whole last pin. I'm just joking. What do you think? Take a little break right now.
I think a little break. Take a little break.
So.
And we're back.
Shane's favorite joint back song right there.
Yeah, bring it back.
We got the Stuckey brothers in here, and we're going to start off with a Patreon question. And thank you to all the Patreon members out there getting behind us and supporting the podcast. Much love, much appreciated. And let's get into this thing. This is from RJ Flake. This goes out to, let's say it's for both of you. What was the first full-length wakeboard film that you remember watching, and which one did you watch over and over and over?
Well, I mean, this is pretty funny. I don't know like if this is the first one, but from a very young age, my dad put us on some VHS tapes.
Oh, sure. Like, I'm sure Jason with it.
Switch 22.
Switch was like it wasn't my first, but I loved Switch. I watched it so much.
He's got like all the Sideways films, like still to this day, like he's got them in a box, like Mayday, like everything. So
you boys were raised on the good shit then, huh?
We were put on very young.
Yeah.
But like I'd say the first like full length cable wise that we were like watching that my dad kind of like got us hyped on. I think we'd watch it like all the time going to the cable was Penny. If you guys like filmed in Penrith, Oz.
Okay, yeah.
Australians in it. That one was like, I think we watched it.
How old were y'all when that was in rotation?
I don't even remember. It was a while ago.
Do you remember watching it? Like,
Yeah, I remember Penny for sure.
What about you? Which one stuck out most to you, Trent?
I mean, I guess you kind of just have to say the debut.
Yeah.
That's like
100%.
the classic.
Yeah, that was a good
Debut
one.
was great.
And I was definitely a little older by now, so after Penny, so I remember the debut more clearly.
Yeah.
Was debut before Drop the Gun?
Yeah, 2013 or something. It was like Drop the Gun was sick, but we were like so young when the debut came out.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was like,
And y'all rode cable a lot. There wasn't a lot of cable on Drop the Gun. It's pretty raw winching and
Yeah.
the boys getting after it. So I'm sure debut was like, I mean, yeah, that probably hit home for y'all. Huh?
yeah, I think I was like, I don't know, 7 or 8 when it came out. And I remember like we went and stood in line and saw the premiere. Like it was true, like full length experience, going to the theater and getting the premiere. And
Yeah.
Is that the one Nico did the kicker gap
yeah.
one?
Yeah.
That was.
Yeah. That was a sick gap.
Yeah.
What about you, Shane?
What's my favorite?
Yeah. What videos you remember watching? What's the first ones?
I think like Highway Drifters. I remember watching Spray a bit, but Highway Drifters was the first one that I was kind of like, these people have like some cool personalities that I liked. But then Switch was a big one for me and Francois, because I even remember we'd be eating breakfast and the TV would be behind Francois and we'd be eating cereal and he'd go, I'm going to name every trick that's happening when it's happening just based on the music. And I was like quizzing him and I'd be like,
Damn.
go. And he would be like, Murray, nose grab roll. Murray chopping a board in half with a chainsaw. Here comes this person. And he was like on every time. It was impressive that he would just like knew the whole movie without watching it.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, it was pretty good. But I think Switch and Switch 22 were sort of the idea of we could almost break down the idea of like sections and just have this montage video, whereas just anything and everything could come about. 3 tricks from one person, let's run to another.
Switch was such a brilliant concept just because it was about
The
someone
channel changer.
flicking just through the channels. And like you could do a short skit, you could do a fake commercial, you could show you could do like literally anything you want. Like Ron is like just like good enough and so creative and weird enough to where it's perfect for him, because he's just like, I mean, that's why you get. I want Murray chopping a board and we're cutting prices in half. Yeah.
And it was really good because you could just work with the part of the song that you wanted to. You didn't have to have the full song.
Right.
Like you could,
And
if
it
you
makes
just
sense.
wanted this like little, and then it would just cut into, like. What was the Smash Mouth song? There's Smash Mouth riders on, or not riders.
Might as well be walking on the sun. Yeah,
and it would go for like
Dean and
30
Sean's,
seconds, and then it would just go into another song, into another channel, and you're like, this is cheese.
I'm glad Jason raised y'all on, and Shannon put in the
did
good
good.
VHS tapes. And
They got some good-
it shows, boys. You got great trick selection. Yeah, thanks RJ for that question right there. We got
Do you boys know RJ? I doubt you
RJ
do.
Flake.
I do not.
He's an older head. He used to work in the shops that we were always at, but one of the cooler guys that whenever we'd go traveling around and visit Wake Sports, he was just
True Wakehead. He was
true
a great
Wakehead,
guy.
and like
awesome,
he was
awesome
a
person. Yeah.
really nice guy.
Thank you, RJ. We'll give you let's give RJ a big
Shout out to
right
RJ.
there. And let's get into the second Patreon question from Bill Porter. Bill wants to know what's next in the wakeboard tech, boys. Any features on the horizon line for you boys, and in any of these features could they be switched to like a boat kind of like design, and such as inserts for boots.
Where are we at? You start that one off, Trent. What do you got?
Sorry, Bill, I kind of butchered that question.
I don't know. I haven't really been testing any like new crazy technology. Just trying to keep it simple and make the best board possible.
What did you kind of apply into your Utopia, your pro model with Ronix?
I mean, we kind of just tried to.
Is less is more kind of like, do you want to not go too featurey and not too much like tech? And then do you want to get just a board that flexes good, is predictable? Like, what do you kind of look for?
Almost kind of, yeah. We kind of didn't really do any like crazy like gadgets or ideas, and just wanted it to be just the board and then as best as possible.
Yeah. Right.
What about you, Gav?
I think to answer Bill's question a little bit, I think you could see in the future, like in my eyes at least, being able to make the board do more of the work and less of the work on your body is like huge. So I think you'll see that in the future, like maybe you'll see carbon, it gives more pop, like maybe not full carbon board, but you'll see some carbon giving you more pop and less.
The right strips and the right spots kind of give you some of that
and give it
rigidity
these
or
zones.
resiliency and kind of.
Exactly, and you get that like snappy live pop, and then you use your knees less to push yourself, and anything like that's like some of these contests you go out 10 runs a day, it takes a toll on the body, and if the board can do more of the work and your body the less, I don't know what technology may be other than carbon, but I'm sure you can import like right now I'm riding with arch support in my boots, like that could be, you could go down a big rabbit hole there and
of just even footbeds and boots and just making it less like that impact style, like like absorbing some of that stuff and arch support. But
what size board are y'all big boarders?
So I'm on a 148, but I like
that's pretty big.
They're pretty big.
Yeah, and like I used to ride a 150 and I toned it down a little bit, and I think it can vary because depending on the size of the tip, it may feel bigger if it's wider, more surface area under you.
I honestly thought it was so crazy because I listened to you and Jimmy Redmond talking about your boards and some of this stuff, and
in Thailand?
It wasn't in Thailand, but I even forget where I heard it or how it came about, and maybe it was even just Jimmy telling me about it, but it was the idea that like your knowledge on how you wanted a board built was like something that he's never seen, because you just had a lot of riders step in there and go, I want this, and I sort of want this to flex there, and I want this, but he was like, he knows exactly what he wants to the point where I don't have to create anything. I just have to make what he is saying. Like he's shaping the board and all I have to do is actually cut the grooves. Like you knew so much. And Jimmy was like so impressed with this new thing that you're coming out.
I mean, that's pretty cool.
It was
Jimmy.
Yeah, that's a good tip of the
Jimmy's designed boards for, hundreds of riders basically. Yeah, since the beginning. And like for him to say this and what he was talking about, I was just like, whoa. And it makes sense because you guys have been riding boards for that long. But like just the idea that you almost knew how channels were working opposed to what, like, it being an inch longer or a certain, like whether it was a sharp edge or a rounded edge, like your knowledge on what you wanted was like, just astronomical. And he was like,
did y'all learn that from a young age, or did y'all always have kind of like a little, like, were you always curious about like what the guts of your board were like made out of, or wood versus foam, or like kind of like when were you just little, just shredding everything kind of?
I think, no, it's kind of just came over time. Our dad is like super technically like dissects everything. So I think over time, riding a bunch of boards, we've kind of, picked up stuff from him.
Yep.
Yeah. The more boards you ride, the more you know. Because, like, just from brand to brand, stuff is so different. Like, I often say, like, even though board brands have different boards, they're all going to feel somewhat similar if they're manufactured by the same guy. So going, like, brand to brand, you learn a lot. And, like, you learn a crap ton if you just put a straight edge up to a board in different spots, and you can see the rocker and the concave, and you can learn a crap ton just based off a straight edge.
Was it crazy switching to go onto liquid after riding Ronix for so many years and like doing that, and now you're like are testing and riding these boards that weren't what you are always. I mean, you've ridden them probably just a few laps at the cable, but now you've got to ride them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
what was that like?
1000%. It's like super weird. Like this switch happened, and like a week later, after I got my boards, then I was going straight to Australia. So I was like, I need to get this dialed right now. But the thing is, when you ride a board for five years, I'd say even 6 months, like you are so like comfortable in your body, and your like the way you ride has adapted to that board.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Like even if it feels good when you first ride it, you're like, oh yeah, I like this. Your body will naturally adapt to it, and like you learn its mechanics and how it works.
Wow. So you like, depending on how board flexes, how it lands, and how the way it rides, it can over time, maybe not, and even if it's just minute, it changes the way you actually have to ride that board and physically.
100%. Like if a board has like real flexy tips, you're not going to go as deep into a nose press or put as much weight on if the board was stiffer, you know? So like even something as simple as that can make a huge difference when you're switching boards.
Yeah. And it almost like starts to change, not necessarily your style, but like what you're able to do. But it sort of is changing your style just by riding a different shape and a different board. You're like, now I can't actually do this thing that I was used to doing. Like,
yeah, the way you look 100%, like it can change. But, you know, then I adapted to the LF boards and then, you know, I was feeling real comfortable. I felt like me. I felt like that was my riding was a product of how I wanted it. And then went back and tried some other boards and I was like, man, how did I ride this? Like I hated this, you know, because I adapted. Yeah. And it's such a weird feeling to go back. Like, how did I do this? You know?
Yeah, man. I think you were in such a good like headspace too. Like after the switch too, because I mean, being a part owner in Ronex, it sucked to lose Gavin Stuckey. But in a way, like as I like stepped afar, I totally got the whole thing because I feel like Shane was like we kind of like went through the same thing in our career. Like when I rode for Conley. And then you went and switched to like Liquid Force and you didn't want to ride the same board that your older brother rode. And Shane, we were a lot younger. Y'all are a lot older, like when you had the switch. But like, I mean, but even a testament to Shane's riding, Shane's never really wanted to be me like as a wakeboarder. And I think how much did that have to like, did that weigh into the whole kind of like deal in itself? Not to say that like that was it, but was that a factor in it? Just like wanting to kind of like separate yourself from kind of like Trent and kind of like just riding the same boards and just be your own person and have the freedom to be G?
Most definitely. And like, I feel like we got like a couple comparisons to the Parks and Shane area for sure. And like the big thing is like, even though me and Trent, our riding style is super different, like at the end of the day, you know, we go to the same contest, we live in the same house, you know, we ride the same cable. So we're kind of a similar person, even though like our personality is different, our riding's different. Yeah. So like to be able to separate myself, like it almost felt necessary for me to have to do that. Yeah. And it's like nothing against like you guys at Ronex because you were there since day one. You know, it's like a family, and I'm still super tight with Ruck and all the guys, and I'm grateful for everything. But I feel like it was just a necessary part for me to get to where I wanted to be was to distance myself.
Yeah. I mean, I even remember when you first made the switch and we were talking about it and you did mention the whole, like me and Parks situation. You're like, no, I felt like I just wanted to break out a little bit, and it's not anything against that, but it was, you're like, I saw that you did it and it worked out for you. So hopefully it'll work out for me too. And it's funny that it was like the Ronex and then you went to Liquid Force, which was exactly what we did too. So
what was your take on the whole transition, Trent?
Yeah, I mean, obviously,
it kind of makes sense.
He needed to let those wings spread. He was like, "Get out of here, little bro. I need this." Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it sucked to separate, but yeah, I think it was kind of a necessary move to kind of let both of us be ourselves.
Just evolve, yeah.
I think it's tough I think it's tough for one brand to have two badasses like yourselves, because it's like something's got to give, and if it's, you know what I mean. So it's,
dude, these two have come so far just in the time that we own Lake Ronex. Like, do y'all remember the first time that y'all came out and saw the back lake, like out there? Like, yeah, dude, how old do you think you were then? You were probably like 12. You were maybe 10
around
or
there,
so.
Yeah.
And dude, like, and they ripped on the cable, but the Ronex setup was kind of like, it was kind of big and kind of burly, and I don't think y'all really hit too many. And I remember like y'all looked at it and was like, dude, like y'all, we had the rolly thing, I think, in the middle, and I think y'all were like pretty sketched to ride it. Like, I think you just hit the down bar, but you got your like whistle wet out there, and you started to get after it. But I remember y'all looking at it at such a young age, and then damn, time freaking flies, dude. It seems like just the other day y'all were like kind of sketched to hit the down bar, and now you're doing like double KGBs up to the top pool. It's like the transition and like, you know, how far y'all came just within that lake, and the memories I've had out there is like pretty crazy.
It's funny because like we didn't even work up the courage to hit that down bar. It was like full steel, opened up with post out, and my dad like built a rail for it, so we didn't have to ollie to it at first.
Sweet Jason come through. Yeah, that's perfect.
And that's
a solid
how,
dad.
So literally we started from the bottom there and like worked our way up. Then Trent ollied it, and I was like, oh, Trent ollied, I can ollie it. And the setup evolved out there, like evolved the riding too, and just being there from a young age was cool to see the pro rider lifestyle.
Right. Yeah. Those photo shoots are pretty cool out there. What was some of your favorite memories from hitting the pool, or trick wise, or like?
Yeah,
step
for
up,
sure.
or like,
I mean,
any close calls? Any?
For sure. There's, a bunch of memories. Filming Sincerely Trent out there. We were out there almost every single day going hard. Definitely took some hard slams, but yeah, tricks that I'll remember forever.
You were just on a tear of NBDs in that one. You were just like,
yeah. I mean, we had the perfect setup, so it was.
You
it's
think
go
that's
time.
You think that's the perfect kind of setup to like learn some loose, like not an airbag, but it's like you're taking like probably a lot of like the risk and stuff by doing it, stepping up into a pool. Is that kind of like the way that you prefer to like try some shit that's never been done?
Not now. So far from
it doesn't matter.
So far,
I don't give a
he don't give a shit.
Give me no kick up.
Yeah. So far from anything I've ever hit, that was definitely like the best. On cable, if I want to try that, you got to come cross cable flying into the kicker. And the Lake Ronex setup was just pretty perfect for it.
What do you guys think has changed most in wakeboarding since you were like a little grom watching it to now? And maybe it might not be that obvious or whatever, but like, I mean, it's a lot changes over all this time. But I mean, I don't know what is there anything that you've noticed that's been the biggest change?
I mean, like visually, I think rail riding has come the farthest. Like, cause it was going through like your era, like we were just talking before this, like pressing wasn't even possible with the boards. And then, and Zeeching wasn't a thing. And then you got to the point, in like 2010s and stuff where people are doing 450 transfers and you're like, oh, that's a big deal. And then now that you like step it back and you're like, maybe it's not a 450, the less rotation, but you're landing 50-50 on a super skinny pipe, or you get more technical, like, and it's just always evolving with overwraps and like all these different things.
It's definitely come the furthest, and I feel like they've sponged up the most influence from like snowboarding as opposed to like any other aspect.
Yeah,
kind of like maybe of wakeboarding. Yeah, man, like you said, the boards weren't even like kind of like soft enough. And if you just handle passed over a rail, you were just like you were
you're totally allowed to do that. So spin as much on the rail as you can.
And I think the risk of just like winching and like and obviously it's like, dude, I see some of the rails like that. Yeah, some of the winching you did, and just some of these closeouts that like people like constantly put them tip of the cap to all the winchers out there. But like if we saw open side, like anything like that, we were like, fuck that. Like, no way. You could hit that and just stop. Yeah. But now people like open themselves up to that like constantly. And it's just, man, I watch it and just go, absolutely not. I'm so thankful to be old. What, you do much winching, Trent?
I haven't done any.
You haven't done any?
Is this kind of like are you kind of like picking parts of wakeboarding and kind of like and just trying to slowly conquer each one, and the winching is going to be like the final frontier, kind of like I said, like when are you opening yourself up to like some sketchy closeout rails and stuff?
Possibly in the future for sure, but yeah, as of right now and in the past, I've definitely just wanted to take any extra effort and stuff I had and put that into boat riding.
Love it. Yeah, man.
That appealed more to me.
No, I love the idea that you're picking these slots to sit in and go, and it's not just, oh, I like wakeboarding, I'll do it, whatever, not like this guy that just tries to do everything. And no, I'm just joking. No, but like it is cool that you're like, no, boat riding's my focus right now. I'm gonna nail that down, and once we get that done, then we'll figure out what's next. But
for sure,
yeah.
Is that definitely something that you're going to want to do? Like, and I totally get it, because like winching's gnarly, man. Like you can open your, you truly do it, if you do it right and you want to do it the way like you probably want to do it, you're probably going to open yourself up to like a lot of fucking, the risk to reward is like kind of like a little bit different, like ratio there, to where like, I think like applying yourself and in cable and boat and getting the skill set and fundamentals and everything that comes with, I think like when you're ready to like to tackle winching, I think it'll make sense to you, and you'll probably like, you've done boat, you've done a little bit of cable. Not to say you won't ever do those, but I feel like the want to winch with you will probably like will jump out and kind of like hit you when the time's right.
And I know it's going to be insane too. It's obviously going to be pretty.
And I know what that feels like because winching never really jumped out and punched me in the face. I went winching with the boys up there in Valdosta one time, and we went to this thing, and I was like walking around, and like I was the only one without boots, like the step out boots. So I'm just like, dude, I'm getting bit by mosquitoes, and dude, we're like getting kicked. I was like carrying like, dude, it was like the sharpest rocks, and the water was cold, and I was like, man, dude, I don't think I'm cut out for winching, boys. Like I was telling the boys, I was like, man, I love it when my only thing I have to worry about is like how to get on Bluetooth and have I put on sunblock yet? It's like
that's the beauty of the sport, though. Like you can do anything you want. Like Tony Hawk never rode the streets, and yeah, he's the biggest name in skateboarding. So it's just the beauty of board sports is there's no line that you got to follow. So
I feel like that's when you know the board sports kind of like when there's so many genres within it, and they're all kind of have their own kind of like momentum and success. I think that's a maturity of the sport, you know.
For sure.
So what's up, Shane?
I was going to say, should we spin a wheel?
Let's spin the win, dude. We're going to spin the win right now. And this is for all the Top Shelf Patreon members, and we got some prizes to give away. We're going to do two, Shane.
We're doing two
spins this time. So we're going to have two winners, and we got some heater prizes right here. Gavin, tell them what we're giving away. Bust that bag out on the table.
Yeah, so Bill from Performance hooked it up.
Shout out, Bill.
Yeah, thanks, Bill. Performance.
Yeah,
solid.
Dude. We got a good little swag bag.
We got a lot. I saw in there. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Let's see. There's just some other. There's some good
on the table.
Yeah, some good old school. That's a nice little old school hat right there. Bang, bang.
Oh, that is an old
but there's a bunch in here.
I love you brought back that
some
traditional logo.
Some rash guards.
Hey, where's the sticker at that we're gonna?
Oh yeah. Right Bill also gave us some old school performance stickers to throw on the board. So
OG first generation performance stickers we're gonna throw on the board.
We're gonna. Oh, he's got it all taped up, nice. But we're gonna have Trent put one of these on the board while we get everything else out. What do we want to do? Let's do.
All right, so this is what we're giving away. We're giving away the swag bag
Throw that one
from
on there.
Performance, and as well, Gavin. What do we got? We got a
we got a 2-piece on the spin here. So the swag bag from Perf, and then the crew out at OWC, best cable in the world, has
shout
hooked
out
up.
OWC
Has hooked up a month pass.
Damn, a month. So if you win this, you might as well come on down. Find a roommate, get an Airbnb, and we got Trent putting on the OG Performance sticker on the wall right next to Ariel. Love it, dude. Good spot.
We have some other ones. I'm gonna put some other ones on there.
Try not to cover
later
anything too special, you know.
No, yeah, you got to watch out. There's some good stickers on there, that's for sure. But yeah, the Performance swag bag and OWC month-long pass going to. Should we?
No, I'm not spinning yet.
Oh, we're not spinning yet.
But yeah, so we're going to give away. First spin is going to be for the Performance bag and the OWC pass. So make sure I'm screen recording this thing. All right, here we go. Spin to win. Thank you all Top Shelf Patreon members. If you want to have a chance to win some wild ass prizes, you never know what it's going to be. Could be a pontoon ride with Uncle Paul. Could be a month-long OWC pass. You never know what you're going to get. So we're going to spin right now. Spin number 1 for the OWC pass and Performance stuff. And we are spinning right now.
I'm going to have to keep this one. This is an older.
Nope, it goes to the winner, Shane.
That's an older Performance.
And the winner is... Bill Porter almost just won that thing. Jay Kuzma. Jay Kuzma. Damn, shout out, dude.
Right,
damn, that's a big winner right there.
Hopefully you're around Orlando for a month because you got a free pass at OWC.
Yeah, come on down to Orlando, OWC. Maybe Gavin will show you around, and y'all can play follow the leader.
Yeah, come ride.
Yeah. We'll be in touch with him. I'll let you know if he comes down and when he does, and I'll get you boys.
Now for the next prize.
Double spin.
Double spin. Double winners tonight. Trent, tell them what they're going to win, dude.
Yes, sir. We got a Utopia, my pro model wakeboard. We are giving one away.
Shit, dude. Let's go, dude. Give the people what they want. And this is going to be shipped direct to you from Ronix. And the second winner, a lot of prizes going out the door tonight, Shane.
I know it's nice.
All right, here we go.
I like giving the Patreon members something, Got to keep giving it out to them.
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. The winner of the Utopia board. We're going to spin this wheel right now. The pro model from Trent Stuckey. And let's spin this thing. Who's going to win?
Who's it going to be?
Drum roll.
Little drum roll.
Brian Taylor.
Brian Taylor
takes
Boom.
down the Utopia board. Trent's pro model. So we got 2 winners in the books right now.
Yes,
Damn,
sir.
dude. And just like that,
That's good. That's good.
People be winning.
Man, he's got himself the
and once
best
again-
board in wakeboarding.
You're not biased or anything, are you?
I love it. Giving away stuff to the people that are helping us run this show. It's not easy, but we appreciate it.
It is not easy,
Wakeboards, swag bags, and OWC gift cards. It's good. It's good.
Okay. I'm gonna ask everyone at the table and see if this sounds nice off the tongue to y'all. Triple Trent.
Triple Trent.
Triple Trent. Doesn't that roll off? Where's your head at on the triple? I see Liam Peacock. He's trying. He's sniffing it down. We had Thomas Herman landed off the double up a couple years ago at Double or Nothing. Cody Hess, the first one to ever do it. Where's that on your priority list?
I've tried a couple out at Lake Ronix, and
the step up.
I did. Yeah, I tried a couple triple Mexis. The thing with the triple for me is just it's such a mental battle.
Yeah.
I've done so many doubles and just opened up, and just to commit to that third flip is so hard because you've never gone that far before. So the second that I commit to that third flip, I lose any perception of like where I am in the air, and I'm just tucking and hoping at that point.
Damn, so it's just a squeeze the handle kind of like emotion that you got to get
pretty
around.
much.
Yeah.
So maybe one day.
Do you think that's
in
the
the
best
future.
setup to try it on, or like do you see how close Liam's kind of getting off the like? Does that make you maybe want to try it flat water and not have to have a step up kind of like thing, or
For sure. I mean,
you just need a bigger kicker? What's it?
to be honest, maybe triple someday in the future, but I would almost kind of want to try, a couple different tricks
stuff.
instead. Maybe some double mode variations, other stuff like that. It's almost more my style.
Love it. What triple would it be? You think Mexi roll would kind of be the
If I
less-
was gonna
less
try
threatening?
again, I would probably try a toe side back roll.
Yeah.
I think I can flip that the fastest.
more than like double cabbie, huh?
for me on cable, I feel like I can flip toe back roll
flip it.
faster.
I get it.
You get it. You get the triple train.
Well, I did a lot of triples in my time, and I can tell you it was one of the hardest tricks I ever made.
I mean, what you said about the mental battle, I think that's real with the triple. I think it takes
It's a whole nother.
it's a whole nother thing. And I watched like Steele talk about it. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, we talked about the section that Aaron Rathy and Steele did for their
Yeah.
real wake, and the whole thing was about Steele trying the triple and never making it, but just like how much of a mental kind of battle and like how much it kind
It
of
was
broke him.
that was honestly
Yeah.
such a
Physically
cool
and
section.
mentally. It really was. I think I
Rathy
really
did such a
like
good
that one.
job on making this like such an emotional challenge. Like it was showing all of that of all of these falls and attempts, and yeah, it is a brutal thing to try to do. So it was that was good.
What trick do you think is going to be? What's a trick that y'all think will be landed 10 years from now? Best trick off the wake, best trick behind boat, best trick off cable kicker 10 years from now.
Well, I'm hoping to take that 14 down soon.
Oh, damn.
I'd like
So-
to see that.
What,
Are you close?
is that toe? What do you just front toe side or like what's the front heel,
No, I'd probably do toe back.
toe back?
Yeah.
You wrap
Damn.
or you wouldn't? Do you wrap that or
No,
no, not on cable?
no.
That's crazy. To
That
think.
is so crazy to think.
So yeah,
dude. 4 spoons,
3.5.
3.5. Yeah,
3.5.
Jesus.
So that's on the top of the list.
Damn.
How close?
that
Have you
is
tried
good.
many?
Not really, not yet.
But you visualized it going to 12.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I
Like,
mean, I can-
like the section we watched with the Gustavo. Like how much like when you're feeling the 12s. Like, are you starting to imagine the 14 as you, or is 12 still such a survival and so chaotic to where you're not maybe seeing the horizon line of the 1440?
No, I mean, I've definitely got the 12s like decently consistent at ODUB now, and I've done a couple 12s, so I've just
So you're
dropped
sizing,
it.
you're sizing,
and I'm
you're
like,
sizing it up.
if I had like 2 more feet of air, like I could have kept going. Like, so It's in my mind. Yeah.
That is sick. Can't wait for
I
that.
feel like you could also on the boat side you might see some more of like wrap double mo variations like the wrap double KGB seems so easy for Tyler and Thomas that maybe some other mobs like wrapped up like that could just get the nice kick of the double up. And
I would like to see something, and maybe this is just me being a little biased, but like a little Tootsie Roll into a tantrum.
Yeah,
like an early handle pass to like another grab go or something like that. Like,
you know what I was almost thinking the other day is like, what about maybe crow, like really hard throw, and then go back into elephant, and then Tootsie. The second whirl would be Tootsie.
That would.
So
be
you go
cool,
like almost crow, and then. Is that
we
10 years
just
from
imagine
now?
Yeah, no,
it's easy when you don't have to try shit anymore.
It's
you come up
for,
with a lot crazier shit when you don't have to try.
Like double Rayleighs, like you go Rayleigh, you bring it down, you throw it back up again. No, I'm just.
I actually tried a Rayleigh on the wake surfer to where I wanted to try a Rayleigh gainer. So I tried to do a early Rayleigh, pull super hard, and then go into a tuck and try to do like get to a back dive.
That's pretty good.
Not a good idea.
I can't
full
imagine.
Rayleigh up, pulled hard, committed. It wasn't for a lack of like an effort on this one. Rayleigh pulled, went to tuck, and I just back flopped in a cannonball so hard. I like knocked the wind out of me. It was don't try it.
Wasn't planning.
Maybe you could. Maybe you could do it. Wake surfing's not the. I wanted to try it when it was going slow, but maybe off the double up. What's the risk to reward?
When are some wake surfers going to start doing kickflips and stuff? I'm so over this whole shove it battle, dude. Like honestly, it's the craziest thing. I've asked them numerous times. I've got to film them during the pro tour.
There's still no kickflip on a wake surf.
Dude, they don't do it. They don't even.
I thought the one guy.
Maybe somebody's done it, but nobody's like trying to get it consistent for a run. Like they're just shoveting out so much, and they just love it, and they're like, the sport doesn't grow past here.
Have you got the cheat codes yet from the Swanson Bros?
Oh, dude, I've watched that.
It's good.
It's my favorite.
Dude,
I love it. They have all the cheat codes. You take a lesson from them, you can unlock your dreams.
Or in the next attributes.
Yeah, it's a fact. You guys want to do some rapid fires?
Let's go.
Do it.
I still don't have a gun.
God, man, Parks is
Gavin's got my bag.
Slacking on the sound effects. All right. I don't have the rapid fires on cards this time. It's just.
Are we doing Trent first, or are we doing? Are we bouncing?
I think we're bouncing back and forth. We're going the same question to both of them to see how they go with it. So here we go, rapid fire.
So we're going to keep it short. Trent, try not to go too long on this one, brother.
All right.
Yeah, it seems like you're just talkative over there. Okay, favorite cable rider.
Oh, me starting?
Yeah, you started.
Oh, Timo Keppel.
Gavin.
Like that.
Oh,
Damn.
that was sick.
Oh,
Thanks,
respect. I
guess I could have said
brotherly love.
You dick.
Sorry, that's the fuel you're talking about.
There we go.
Yeah.
Timo's a good one though. I wouldn't have guessed that, but I do like his style. Favorite wake rider.
Wake rider. Oh, that one's hard though. Mossy right now, maybe. Oh, Sam. Probably Sam.
I was gonna say Sam as well.
Yeah.
All right. Double Sam.
Sam Brown, dude.
Favorite section.
Section.
Yeah, favorite video part or section. Or whatever of all time.
Oh, dude. I
don't know. I know. It's tough. I come with the heat. That's why we call them rapid fires. Well, rapid fires.
Yeah, this one's not very rapid. Sorry. No. Dude, recently I like to watch Trent's like second song, and it's Sincerely Trent. Just because like
the first song just doesn't do it for you.
Well, you don't get to say this answer after he said that you're his favorite cable rider. I feel like you're making up for the first answer. Right
the second part is like it's almost full NBD off kickers.
True.
And the last 6 months I've been on a kicker hiatus with the injury, and I just can't wait.
Kind of frothing
I can't wait to hit the kicker, so that kind of fired me
I like
up.
it. What about you? Favorite section?
That's so hard. I think
it's hard.
You just had a long time to think about it.
Yeah. I don't remember the title of the video, but it's an Aaron Gunn video from back in the day. It's like Welcome to Jet Pilot, maybe. That one was a banger.
I loved some Aaron Gunn. He was a good guy. Good guy. Favorite park?
Park? Gotta shout out the
OWC.
These guys love OW. All right, both of you saying OW?
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna actually now switch to you're going first now.
Hey, can I just add on to that one because that was one of my
Yeah.
favorite park off the water.
Off the
water, like not the actual cable and like on the water.
Ooh.
What's the best cable off the water?
I mean, 313 has a pretty good vibe, like with the mini ramp and the restaurant and the rooms.
It's true.
Yeah,
That's a pretty good
pretty
setup.
insane
Pretty
out
sick
there.
setup there.
Yeah.
I like that.
What was it? Toulouse in France. Have you been there? I feel like they
Yeah.
have rooms right there. Not that it's a great park or anything, but I liked it. Anyways, not
Is that
the
a
point.
common thing? Most cables have like the full like rooms around
Over-
the edges.
over in
it looks like
Europe,
I'm seeing it more and more.
It's like
Why don't you think like American kind of cables like
I don't know.
is there one?
Like,
Is there a cable in the States that has kind of like the lodging around the edge?
just
Well, there used to be
BSR.
BSR.
Yeah.
Is BSR still a thing?
I think so. I think it's sold actually.
I don't think I ever
like
went to
changed
BSR.
owners.
I don't think I've ever been to BSR either. All right, we're switching it up. Now you're going first.
All right.
Who's better, your mom or your dad?
Oh, that's not a question.
It is.
Question. Welcome to Rapid Fire.
I plead the fifth.
What about you?
You cannot plead the fifth here.
You can't.
This is rapid fire. dude.
rapid fires. You've got to say one.
What am I going on? What is better?
We
mean?
don't
Best-
reference.
no.
You can.
Yeah, you can take it however you want, but when I wrote it, I was thinking riding.
Oh,
Oh, that makes
I'll
it
say-
easy. Dad's not that
Shannon
good.
fuck Jason
Shannon,
up.
yeah, Shannon. That's who I thought too. All right, we'll actually go to the next one. Oh, sorry, I closed out. Last trip you were on,
Masters in Georgia.
Masters.
Yeah, I just got home from like a 3-week trip. I went like Langenfeld, Italy, and then a demo through London.
All right.
Damn.
All right.
Yeah.
Gavin tour.
All right. This is going to be a little one. I might have to think about it, but we talked about it once. But how many laps have you done? How many cable laps have you done?
That's a big question.
Damn, that's a big
'Cause
question.
Sometimes
That's a
I
big
wish
answer.
I wish OWC had the wristbands that you could scan,
Yeah.
like some of the Europe parks, so you
Oh,
could
that would
see
be
how many
sweet.
laps.
Because
But
we talked.
I would have
about,
to say it's like over 100,000
Yeah.
at least.
I think we
100,000
tried.
laps on the cable.
Not even just at ODUP. That's like I'm talking every lap you've ever
Have y'all tried
taken.
to crunch these numbers before?
I have not.
Last
no.
year we tried to, or like around the new year, we tried to see how many days we wakeboarded out of the year. And we were going to count, but I broke my foot and I don't think he ever kept up with it. But like if we had to guess, like I spent over 5 months like away from home last year. And when I'm home, I'm still riding. And when I'm gone, I'm riding
all
damn
the time.
near
Yeah,
every
yeah,
day.
yeah.
So I was like, I'm definitely between 250 and 300.
Yeah,
laps.
but that's it. I mean, I even think that's
per
lowballing it
No,
because
like-
you could be there for 6 to 8 hours sometimes.
Sorry,
and you're doing,
250 to 300 days of the year I rode.
Yeah.
But laps, like in one set, I think I've hit like 150 laps in one handle
yeah.
before.
See that.
Whoa.
I honestly
In one
think
handle.
Yeah.
One-
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm
Well,
exhausted on 3 laps.
I've
know,
definitely
that's
gone
crazy.
over 100 laps on one handle.
Yeah, we've
for sure.
definitely just been
Just kept
riding
going
and
and going
come
and
back in.
going.
It's
And it's
an
like-
hour and a half
The
later.
the
Like,
Stuckey boys don't get pulled off
Yeah.
the cable at OWC,
Yeah,
do
they don't fork them. They're not like, oh, you gotta wrap it up. One more. Here you go.
Hey, wait. Where do y'all think you rank on total cable laps compared to everyone out there? The
Yeah.
Nick Davies, the Tom Fouchés,
Yeah.
the Daniel Grants.
Do you think you've taken more laps than Daniel Grant?
I don't think more than Daniel has like 10 years on me, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I
mean,
feel like Daniel has to be the highest.
Daniel's
or
definitely the
like
highest, you think?
maybe a Lior Sofer could be like a sleeper pick. That has
Could be a
2
sleeper
laps.
pick, but let's be real. It's probably Daniel Grant.
Yeah.
Do you think
probably.
do you think there's someone out there that rode as much as y'all, never made it, never tried to compete, and just put in as many laps in as hours?
They're
Like,
just
that's
fine with
like-
doing front boards and back flips.
Someone's
Never
gotta be,
handle
someone's
passing.
got to be listening to this and be like, I've put 24 years, like doing,
Yeah.
every day. Maybe.
That is
I
a
don't know.
funny
I
idea.
would like to think that.
They're just like, I'm just not into progression. I just like to do my board slides. I do a Rayleigh on the turns, and
Dude,
that's it.
maybe just going out and doing 6 Rayleighs, six Rayleigh abs, dude.
Yeah.
That's a real thing.
I bet Cole one time that I could get abs in 6 months, and he was like, "No, you couldn't." And I was like, "Dude, I would go to the cable and I would do Rayleighs all day, every day, and I guarantee you, within 2 or 3 months, 6-pack, bang."
There's not a more fun way to get a 6-pack than
No.
just flicking Rayleighs.
No, there's not. Okay, we'll move on. What number am I thinking of?
1.
No.
69.
No.
Great guess. Really good guess too.
Yeah, but they were both wrong. I
Did you
usually
get the answer?
I usually
or-
no, you don't have the answer. You don't have the
You're
answer.
wrong.
No,
Trent
no.
was definitely wrong.
I'm definitely not thinking. Okay. Usually I ask people their favorite beer, but I know you guys aren't old enough to, or you're old enough now.
I just turned 21.
All right. What's your favorite beer?
I'm not a big beer guy. I'm more of
What's your favorite drink?
like a vodka cranberry or
Okay.
something.
All right.
Yeah.
And what's your favorite Capri Sun?
Vodka Red Bull.
Oh, okay. I don't think that's a Capri Sun. But,
Which beer do you think would taste the best? Looking at the can.
I don't know. I just like, I'm not a big carbonated guy.
Yeah.
Ah.
You like the
Like-
bubblies, huh?
Yeah, but maybe, I don't know. The boys seem to talk up the creamers. Like,
yeah, the Guinness looks the best. That like does that pour and
The presentation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, favorite Bonifay.
What are these questions, man? The favorites.
I mean, it doesn't have to be us
parents
two.
of
There's a
Bonifay.
lot of
Yes,
yeah.
you've-
Peter
you've
B
met
was great.
Bonifay.
Uncle Paul, if you listen to the
Paul, Petty
podcast,
Bonifay.
probably one of the coolest guys in the whole world. He's part of La Familia now. You know, Uncle Paul's part of La Familia now.
Yeah, they
He's
just
on the
yeah, he
ad.
just
Yeah,
did it.
he's in
He
all
ju-
the
He
ads.
just did the initiation and everything.
Yeah, he got jumped in. Like they beat up this 70-year-old dude.
About eight of the motherfuckers trying to beat me up out there. I'd throw my cigarette down and I'd let them have a nice whooping, boy.
All right, we don't have to do that one. Do you have a favorite Bonifay? I mean, Parks hasn't ever filmed
we
you.
could go Betty Bonifay, dude.
Bonifay's
Shout out
legit.
Betty.
Betty's legit. If you could change with your brother, would you?
No.
Change lives?
Yeah,
Or-
just swap. You gotta swap.
Nah, I'm sticking. I'm
All
too
right,
beautiful,
all right,
dude.
All right.
The baby face.
All right, this one's pretty obvious since you already said it, but one park for the rest of your life.
Gotta stay at the home park.
Yeah,
So
true
loyal
home
to the
spot.
soil.
Loyal to the soil. I like that.
Who was the nicest pro you met as a kid? We'll go you first now. We'll switch it back.
Nicest pro, like.
Who's the nicest that you remember just meeting them
I
and being
think-
like, they were so cool and so nice. They talked to me or whatever.
I think I'm gonna go Julian Cohen.
All right.
I think he was just like at the cable, like so many pros used to go to OBC, but he was always like, "Yo, do a new trick," like always like talking to me
Yeah.
and stuff. So I'm going Julian.
All right, fair enough. I mean, I was talking about like real pros, not like local pros. I'm just joking. I love Julian. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. All right, what about you?
I don't know. One that pops out at you'd say is like Jake Pilat.
Oh yeah, well,
About the nicest guy you could ever meet.
yeah. Jake's like the nicest person in the world,
Yeah.
minus the whole wakeboarding stuff. He's like the nicest
That
guy.
asshole Jake Palat.
Yeah, that's a sentence. You are the first person that's ever said that sentence.
I know, it
Parks.
sounded
Nobody's
weird.
ever
It
said
did.
that.
Sounded weird saying
Yeah, it felt odd. And who's the nicest pro now?
Oh,
I mean, that's still Jake Palat. I think it's still Jake Palat.
yeah. To us, or like if anyone was gonna go meet.
Just like at a tour, you see them. You're like, that's like the nicest pro. Like,
Yeah,
he's like-
Jake will never say no.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a chance he's
Yeah.
gonna say
Yeah.
no ever.
All right.
Truly is the
What about
best.
nicest cable rider? Like whenever you're over in Europe, you're meeting all those guys. He's like, they're
say
the
it.
nicest.
I'll say Riley Dillon.
Yeah, Canadian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. He's Canadian. That's almost like
It wins
that's
by
a
default.
shoe.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
cheaters.
shoe in. They're always so nice. I think that's it.
Nice. A little rapid fire by Shane right there, dude.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, what have y'all ever? Because y'all compete in a lot of different contests. You've had a lot of different formats. You've been head to head. You've done wake duels where they do it at the same time. You've been in 2.0s. Y'all never did. What was the? Was one in Germany that they did side by side cable? I'm spacing it. I'm spacing it right now.
It wasn't the Wake the Line,
Yeah, wake the line.
but we didn't go side by side. There was one that we did
There was
side
two
by
cables.
side.
There was two cables. I thought at wake. Yeah, there's definitely two cables at wake the line. Eventually,
Not at the same time. I don't think
no,
so.
no, they didn't run them at the same time. But there was two different.
Oh, there's two
there was
different.
two
Yeah,
different-
yeah. There's. I think so. I think
So,
the original ones were.
Yeah, I guess my question is like after all the contests that y'all ridden in and stuff, like, do you have like any kind of like ideas for formats and stuff that could be like in the future to help the contest kind of evolve? Or have y'all thought about this? Or if you had to come up with your own contest right now, you had a 5-minute pitch.
I mean, I always thought something like how snowboard does like big air contest tours, like would be the sickest thing in wakeboarding, because what's the coolest thing for people that don't know the sport to watch is just you going huge off the kicker and doing massive tricks. So like,
so would you want the old big air setup kind of like thing, like the big lander and kind of like step down, or kind of like,
or just
or
the kicker contest,
a XL kicker like under the lights with crowd super close?
Could be a mega ramp, but I think just take that huge kicker, just a 2.0, and just.
I think that's actually a good idea, and it's surprising that they don't do that at these events, because it wouldn't be hard to, after the event or even before finals, do one where it's like.
Well, you kind of see the same hits in the.
No, but you don't, because they have to make it to finish their runs. So if you only were going for your
take
one
the rails off a little bit,
take the rails off. It's just a one big hit. You get 2 hits at it, let it go, and I think that. It's almost like when we do the kicker hit on the tour and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I think what he's saying is like, he's talking about like the air and style, like this showcase, like it's all focused on like one kind of like, it's almost like, could you build like the seating and everything slightly just underneath the cable to like, like the Shark Wake Park, like when you hit that kicker and you're sitting at the bar right there. Yeah. Or not the bar, but the rail, like you're literally catching like water drops like in your beer, like as you're like kind of like
that would be cool.
Taking it there. So I think like if you could like somehow just like take the big air, the lights, and kind of like that drama of a big air flying, and kind of just like put the crowd like so close to the action would be kind of like.
I really liked one event that we did in Northern California one time. It was both XLs on both sides of the cable, and those were judged heavy, so you had to have a heel side and a toe side, or a left and a right. And I was like, this is cool, because you got everybody like setting up, boom, blasting a big heel side, landing, cutting over, boom, big left side. Like it was cool. Like I liked that.
Yeah. I think like you could even take a 2.0 and go to 5 big cities and do just one kicker, one 2.0, and do it like that. Yeah. Like make it under the lights kind of thing. But I know why you're saying it, because
he's really good on kickers.
Yeah,
he's like,
good. Like, how much did Dino win like doing a backside? Like, you know what I mean? Like he could definitely.
And Dino's knees were like, he's like, I'll hit it again and again and again and again and again, dude. Like, he was like, he was just like, he had the landing gear of a Ulf Ditch, dude. Ulf Ant guy, dude.
But I think if you wanted to stay on a full size, it could be really cool to like fully just take a slope style like format from snowboarding, where you have like take all the features, and like maybe the front straight of the cable is like 3 big giant plaza hacks, and then the backside is 3 big kickers, like, and it's just like
a lot more flowy and kind of
and it's like a huge 5 rails butted up next to each other instead of one on each side, like going from the left side of the cable all the way under.
So many more options.
And there's like 3 sets of that, and then on the back straight it's like 3 kickers, and maybe the last kicker is like kicker to wall ride on both. Like, it's mirrored kicker, and then kicker to wall or something like that.
That would be cool. I like that idea. Too.
I like that. Now we're talking. Maybe when's y'all's contest? When's the Stuckey Bros Invitational happening? Dude?
Seriously, I think it would be possible if you guys even went to ODub and were like, hey, we want to do something big and crazy, and it's going to drive all of these international riders. Like cable needs to get a little revive here,
especially domestically. I feel like
domestically,
that's Europe has all the great contests, and they're so fun to go to. Like, in Europe, like the everyone seems like they like camp on the shore. Some of the ones like plastic playground and stuff. Like it seems like it's just the vibe, like off the water is like so fun to where I feel like. I wish that that kind of experience like was somewhere domestically. Do you think that's on the horizon here in the States?
Yeah, I mean, it's just the backing to make it happen.
Like, you just got to start pushing for it. The backing will happen, especially with you two. They'll follow. They'll follow the leader.
The best riders in the world are gonna come if there's a prize for sure. And then if someone like Red Bull gets in, like it will be huge. So it's there for sure.
How much do you feel like the lodging and stuff and having everything on premise the entire time changes like the culture of the event?
Oh, it probably makes a huge difference. Like I think if all the riders are together, like how they are at 313, they all stay at the park. Everyone's there.
Even like yard sale was big, and everybody's camping.
Yeah, exactly. I think it contributes to the whole weekend. Like it's really cool.
Should we all sleep underneath the I-4 bridge for double or nothing? And just,
with all the bums?
With
all the bums.
Dude, you might have to share the real estate.
That'd be sick. Dude.
No, that'd be good.
Let's we're gonna do one little round of a trivia after this, but is there any chance? Shane and I were big fans of baller handle passes back in the day. Is there any chance that we can throw a little magic in the air and get maybe a Stuckey baller
honestly
trick at some point?
Maybe even like a double baller 7.
Maybe I'm not
maybe
putting any ceiling on it. And if you want
double baller rewind,
the baller is like in wakeboarding you have a handle, so if you spin you have to pass it. But a baller is a handle pass to where you do like between your legs and you alternate. You pass the handle like around your legs, kind of like it's
one hand in between.
That's my only request. That
I would love this. I honestly would love this.
Have y'all done much ballers in them?
I've done a couple on some rails and posted them. Maybe I'll send you the clips
Have
later
you done some
tonight.
tech ballers? I imagine you're not just doing a basic baller like
even imagine this one, PB.
But
pass in between the hand, like the legs. You get the handle. You do a good grab, and you're like holding backside 180, and then like right before you land, you go for another handle pass.
So you do half of it before,
and it stops in the middle. Grab. Pass again, land.
Why don't you just bring a Rubik's Cube out with you and you can pause and just
They can do this. They can do anything.
Trent's doing like KGB 7s and he's like sending text on the way down. Like, I watched it. I was like, did he just text someone?
Yeah, he just hit me up.
I think he just swiped right on a girl. Got any girlfriends, Trent? Dude, how many girlfriends you got right now, dude? Who has more girlfriends right now? Or y'all have a girlfriend?
Distractions, dude.
Distractions, dude.
So
Y'all
devoted.
just married to the game. I love it, boys. Yeah, I
Boys are
love it, dude.
into it.
Love it, dude.
Get to the ladies later.
You probably just don't want to say anything because your mom and dad are listening. All right, here we go. We got a little trivia, and this is all based on Florida and mainly Orlando. You two boys are Floridians, so we're going to see how well your trivia knowledge is here.
Oh God!
And I got 5 cards here. Okay, so if you get 2, you get 2. This last one's going to
basically going to be
down
closest to the pin. It's closest to the pin.
This is closest to the pin. So I'm going to ask you, how deep is whatever, and whoever comes closest to the real answer.
Is this wakeboarding related?
Not at all.
Not at all. We're going to throw wakeboarding out the window on this one, dude. There's nothing to do with
I feel like they wanted to play heads up though.
They did y'all want to play heads up?
Do you guys even know? They probably haven't watched the cast yet.
All right, let's figure out the right one to do here first.
Is there stealing involved if he doesn't
No
know?
stealing, no stealing. So we're going to alternate. You can go, Trent, you're going to go first,
All
and
right.
Gavin, you're going to go second on the next one. Going to alternate. All right, and here we go. Question number 1. Ready, Trent?
Ooh, the music, intense.
You ready?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. Question number 1. Stuckey trivia. What year did the city of Orlando become a city?
1935.
Interesting guess. Interesting guess.
Am I guessing too?
Yeah. Closest. Whoever gets closest.
1853.
1853. Shane, what did Trent say?
1935.
1935. And the answer is 1875.
Oh, it's closer on them.
Gav looks like he gets a. What'd you say? 18? Yeah.
What'd you 18?
1853.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like 20 off.
All right, Gav. Boom.
All right, so Gav's up first next time. So now you can gauge it, and you gotta,
All right.
It's
okay.
Gav's trying to look over
These
the
are
cards
hard
and trying to get a little peep. I saw
These are hard answers.
Hey, you can
I
see
wouldn't
that-
know these either.
You can
Like,
see Gav trying to get a competitive edge over his brother any way he
Always.
can. Interesting
Always.
take right here, dude.
Yeah.
Way too late.
All right, here we go. You ready for question number 1? Gavin, you're guessing first.
Hit us with that.
All right, here we go, boys. What is the biggest alligator ever caught in Florida?
Ooh.
We'll say length. If there's a tie, then we'll go to
Wait.
We go 15.8 feet.
15.8 feet. Biggest
Whoa.
alligator caught in Florida. Guessed by Gavin. Trent, what's
I
your
feel
guess?
like it's got to be bigger. I'm going 16.
15.8.
Yeah.
15.8. 16.
I'm going 16.
Trent Price is right at him. 17.5. Ladies and gentlemen.
That's a big boy.
Yeah.
Wait,
So-
you did me dirty with that.
Yeah, no,
Just
he
go-
does. He can do you dirty, and that's the problem. Is like you almost got to go to a point of almost being slightly over, just so he thinks maybe it's that side, and then you like went on being over. But
Damn. All right. So
that
1 to
was
1
good.
right now. 1
What
to 1
was
right
what
now.
was the footage of that?
17.5.
That's a big boy.
What a monster.
Huge boy.
Seriously.
Is that even real? Fact check me, people. If you don't like it, if I'm wrong, put it in the comments. Okay. You boys like to eat pub subs?
Oh,
I've had a couple pub subs in my day.
Pub subs. Publix is the biggest chain of grocery stores here in Florida. Created by George Jenkins. And what year? And what year was Publix established in the state of Florida?
Oof.
One of the best grocery stores in the South.
And we already know what year Florida was established, so it's probably
I don't know how
like
that correlates.
I'm gonna stick with my same earlier guess, 1935.
Oh,
Wow.
I'm going 1949.
1949 to 1935. Ladies and gentlemen, Trent Stuckey
Oh,
dude,
with what?
1930.
Damn.
Wow.
Only 5 years off the
See,
competitor.
I would have gone over like Ab
went
did.
over?
I would have gone. I was like 35 might be a little. That's.
But
young.
when did the
Winter
pub
Haven,
sub
Florida.
come out? Is the real question.
I mean, they probably had bread and meat. I imagine someone threw it together back in the day. All right. We got two
We got
questions
2 more.
left.
All right, yeah.
All right. Here we go. Who's guessing here? Gavin, right?
Yeah.
Gavin's up.
All right. What's the average lake temperature in Central Florida?
Is this year
What is
round?
what is the average
Average.
the average temp of the lakes in Central Florida?
Like maybe
year-round?
sometimes it's cold, sometimes it's
Average
warm,
means
but
that
what's the
it's-
average?
Averages it means year round.
Damn. Could be December. Could be June, dude.
No, yeah, but
Yeah.
what
What's
would
the
be the average? Do we need to break down average to them?
72.
72 degrees.
That's actually pretty good, I think.
I'm going higher. I'm going 76.
Damn, it sounds like Trent just kind of prices
Well,
right. I mean,
I know.
is he that good of a competitor? He just kind of like.
So
but
what-
maybe he thought that was low.
You thought
The
it could
springs
be
in Florida
low.
are 72.
Oh yeah, see springs.
Interesting.
Springs. You forget about the
Interesting.
springs.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the average temperature of the lakes in Central Florida is 87 degrees. So Trent,
87.
That's really
damn,
hot.
That's really hot, dude. It's
They must
warm.
be-
I don't know if y'all know this, but it's warmer more than it's cold down here in Florida.
Yeah, but I
87
still
is
feel like that's
insane.
hot.
That is a bathtub.
Well, dude, we're gonna
Well, you-
big takedown for Trent, dude. Taking it down, dude. I don't know.
Trent took it down, but I want to hear the last one too. And it doesn't matter, but I just want to hear what it is.
All right, let's see. Do you? Oh yeah, Shane, you don't know the answers of this.
Let me
too,
see
so
if I can beat him.
let's
Yeah, let me see if I can beat him.
Shane can jump in this thing and steal a card.
You could get same
I
score.
can tell you.
Same score as me.
All right, here we go. How long does the I-4 freeway stretch for? It goes from Daytona Beach to Tampa, Florida. How long
I feel like you
is
could
the
get
I-4
real
freeway?
close on this one.
Feel free to guess at home.
I'm gonna go
If you're not from Florida, sorry about you.
92 miles.
Oh, I
Dude,
think
what-
that's super low.
Interesting guess. I'm not going to say anything. I don't want to throw people
I'm
off.
gonna go 250.
250.
Yeah.
Okay,
What-
interesting.
what-
So we got 52. What'd you
90,
say?
I said 92.
92.
It goes from Tampa to Cocoa, right?
Daytona.
Yeah, 92.
150.
What was your guess?
250.
Ladies and gentlemen, 132 miles. I believe Gavin takes that
What'd you
one.
go?
150.
150.
Ah, shit. No, 90. Yeah, no, you get it.
Yeah, the Polk County math even doesn't add up on this one, Shane.
I didn't know.
A big shout out, Gavin, taking it down on that one. You can get a card. But Trent, you
I
won
could've
the
guessed
trivia,
that.
dude.
It was
Closest to the pen.
definitely-
Shane,
Hey, he's
you,
older, man.
You had one chance.
I know. I mean, now that I think about it, yeah, probably more than 120 makes sense.
Where
Yeah.
you What's that?
Yeah,
Trent's got 2 years of Floridian knowledge on me, so
which is sort of unfair.
Do you think you're going to learn that much knowledge in the next 2 years?
I could learn in the next 2 days, PB. Come on.
You're going to go to University of YouTube and start looking up some Florida facts.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like you got to know the history of where you're from, man. I think you got to get into that. And obviously, Trent's put in the time, or did he just price it right at you?
He priced right.
Yeah, he did me a little contesty.
I think like I can't even watch Prices Right because when someone goes like 500 and then someone goes
501,
501,
Yeah.
and they win.
I would be so
Bro,
mad.
it pisses me off so bad. It really it puts me in a bad mood, and I realized I was like pissed off by like 11:30 in the afternoon. I was like, dude, Price is Right. It's rubbing me. I can't even watch it anymore.
Nah,
Ruin the rest of your day.
I love it.
I got over it. I got over it. But like I can in the time, it really just like irks me to where you can like right next to someone, you say 400, and I literally look at you and I go, 401, Bob. And you're gonna live with you're gonna sleep at night and you're gonna get to the showcase showdown and fucking I hope they lose. I would be pulling against them so hard.
There's something amazing that happens on Price is Right though, where they like say you win that first round and you get into the next one. They're like, all right, now we got this game for you, and the prize is jet skis, and you see this person that does not know how to swim or something. You know what I mean? Like they
What do you say, Jay?
they give prizes away. No, they give prizes away to people that are like, fuck, I'm not going to do anything with this. Like how they'll like give somebody, they're
They
like,
trade it in.
where are you from? And they're like, Florida, never left Florida. I love it. And they're like, well, you get you getting snow skis. They're like, fuck, Bob. Like, what do I do with snow skis in
are
Florida?
we talking to a blank crowd? Are y'all too young for Prices Right?
No,
I know it
Price
exists
is
nowadays.
Right,
I know
yeah.
it exists nowadays, but like, are y'all
No.
okay? Good.
Yeah,
Good. I was like,
Basically, I watch Price is Right quite a bit, actually. It comes on whenever I'm like sort of getting into.
you're a better man than me. I can't. Get
No,
into
but
that.
the beauty of that is when they get a prize that you just know they hate. They fucking hate it. They're like, no.
But here on the top shelf, you can get on that wheel and you get something you love.
Hey,
yeah.
and everyone has a fair shot at that. You can't get 401 on the spin to win.
I mean,
Top Shelf Patreon member.
I mean,
good call, G.
yeah. Thanks for hitting them up, giving me a little shout out. Like even the one with giving Uncle Paul going on Uncle Paul's boat, having dinner with him.
Off the chain.
We're like, nobody's gonna vouch for this. Our boy from Michigan hit it up.
Blake Reeves.
Blake Reeves loved it.
we
He's like,
brought
I'm coming down.
He said, yeah, he goes, I have my schedule open. He goes, anytime that's good for y'all, we're coming down. And he's going out on the pontoon boat with Uncle Paul to the Bermuda Triangle. So we're going to
We're probably going to get La Familia out there with him too.
Oh, dude, it's gonna be
Blake
it's
Reeves
gonna
is
be
going to
a
have
son.
a blast.
Maybe we'll have the 11th member of La Familia, Uncle Paul.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of sick to make a Paul 11th member.
Yeah. It would be a sweet one. Just
I can't believe they jumped him in.
I know.
Well, the boys, I think, man, we've talked about a lot.
I think that was it.
Loved it, man.
Bang.
What, where y'all off to next? Where you going?
We're
Big Pro Tour stop?
Yeah, we leave
You going up
tomorrow
there
to
with
go to
him?
Pro Tour.
yeah, gonna go root for the boy.
Yeah, I love it. You're going
Yeah.
up there. I fly out. Shane's flying out. We're all going up there now that we think about it.
Let's
so.
bring the mics and do part 2.
Yeah, Shane's filming. I'm commentating with doing the live stream. Trent's going for his first Pro Tour win. Let's fucking get it, boy.
Yes, sir.
What are you're like filming a little behind the scenes?
Actually,
you do a lot of
Yeah,
filming and stuff.
you've been picking up the camera lately.
yeah. Actually, we filmed the entire because I couldn't ride it at Langenfeld. I filmed entirely behind the scenes, and we've got a cool project on the way from Langenfeld. So that's
Love it.
That's really cool. I really love that you're grabbing the camera and getting into it.
yeah. It's been great, and like honestly, like I think when you film something yourself, you get a vision, and then it works throughout like time that you have a vision and you want to be creative, and like. I'll hand Trent my camera here and there, and now like he gets the vision too, and he's like, "Hey, I want you to film this way," or he gets involved as well.
And it helps you know where you want to be when somebody else is filming you. You're like, okay, now I understand what this is going to look like from there. Like it just helps that whole creativity of being able to work with a filmer and just watching other people and being like, dude, I don't know. It's a cool thing to be, and I think all riders should handle a camera every now and then, just because it opens up a little window where you're like, oh, this is,
It's nice to have at the park too. If you land something new, like,
it's good to know that. Yeah.
Can you film this? Yeah.
Who's the better filmer out of you two?
Gavin.
It's nice to have a little brother that captures all your shots and plus a little brother that missed a lot.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
sort
they
of like
pound it
a
out,
little,
but I guarantee
it's
you,
sort of like
Gavin-
a little brother thing.
Gavin, your track record of getting the clips and not how many critical shots have you missed?
Hey, I'm pretty. My ratio is pretty good.
Yeah.
Hey?
I don't think any.
Come on.
There's always a.
Don't throw me
there's
under the
always a
bus like
couple,
that.
though.
No.
Yeah, Shane.
No,
Shane-
I was going to say, even by them now holding the camera, you learn that you can't bang every shot. Like, you can't get every one. So whenever I tell you, sorry, I missed it, it makes the rider go, not that big a deal. I've used a camera before, but now you're saying that you're hitting a good percentage. Now I need to get my game together.
That's why you shoot dad cam. Shit's supposed to look jerky.
Yeah, it's like part of the thing.
2 buttons.
Yeah.
Zoom.
I would always do that. I remember like when someone would fall, I would do these things where I would just tap the button and it would just record for a split second, but I would like zoom in on like everyone's face in the boat. So in between falls, it would go blip, 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 all people's faces and just like random logos and shit. And then it would go like right
And
next
then
to
right back to the next.
That's
shot.
called editing while recording right there.
That's
Good old VHS.
It's a beauty move.
All right, in this scene, we're going here. Oh,
No, I
man.
love it.
Miss the old dad cam days. You boys ever picked up one of those cameras right there?
I have not.
That thing looks ancient.
I mean, it's old.
Is
That's
that the
what
original ones that we filled incomplete on?
Yeah, those are the originals.
You still film on it ever?
I busted the VX 2000, which is the one on the shelf over there. I busted
still
that
works?
out. Yeah, that one still works a little bit. It's the record button's a little fickety.
Little figgity.
Yeah, you can hit it and it won't work, and then sometimes you hit it while it's recording. And you're like filming something, it'll just stop recording. You're like, man, it's fickety.
That's why you dropped so many shots back in the day, maybe, Shane.
No, it's not. That thing's just old. But yeah, those are originals right there. But
Sweet.
Well, damn, boys, man, it's been a fun one. Dude, Stuckey Bros, episode 8. Shane, you got anything you want to sign off on? You got anything we didn't talk
I
about?
just want to thank everybody for watching, listening, subscribing, liking, commenting, even all of those Instagram posts that we write. Anybody that likes or comments on it, we appreciate it all. It's really fun. We love doing this, and appreciate all the Patreon members for helping us out.
Yeah, sign up. We'll get you out. Some of the koozies have been getting sent back. I don't know if I gotta. They said it's
like the letters.
The letters have been getting sent back, but only like probably I think like 80% of them are going through. I only get like some of them sent back. So if you haven't gotten your koozie or stickers yet,
hit us up.
It's in the mail. I'm still trying to. I'm gonna send them back out, but yeah.
We'll take care of you. Just go ahead and reach out to us. Hit us DM me, say, hey, I haven't got my koozie. I'll tell Parks, he'll send it out because Parks sends it.
Gab, what's your sign off? What's your sign off sentence? A couple words. It could be 2 words. It could be.
It's pretty rad. I think it was we nan it, talked some pretty good wake. So
good brothers banter, man. It's fun getting a couple brothers in the studio. There's a lot of brothers that we want to have in here.
Yeah. We'll get you back soon too. We'll do it again.
Trent, what's your sign off, dude?
Sign off. Ooh.
Pressure's a privilege.
Pressure is a privilege.
Let's go. Pressure's a privilege.
That
baby.
is a good one.
Episode 8. Thank y'all for coming out. Stuckey Bros.
Yeah.
In the books. Episode 8. Love y'all. Much love.
Peace.
yeah.